Hey, where'd you go yesterday? I went to a new place. Who made it up? Roka. Oh, he did? Yeah, he said something stupid yesterday. Well, yeah, it's a place that no one, well, he can get away with it, but I can't. Why? Well, because I get sunburned in the sun, in the beach. Yeah, I'm back. It's nice to see everybody. I hope you're all well. The Schmoebot is back. Do you know that? Yeah, Schmoebot's back. So we're gonna have you guys put the Schmoebots in because that's gonna happen, and it's gonna be good to see you. You know.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Take Two productions of the Schmoedown Entertainment Network. Ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to get this working. Let me know if it's working. Try it again. So, hello. Here we go. Schmoedown Entertainment Network, SEN Live. We are back. RB3 in the house trying to make all this work. He's been working hard to make sure that everything is going on. Ben Goddard is here. Winston Marshal in the house. And the sound is okay now, everything. And right 12 o'clock for me, she is the Roxinator, the manager of the Rockstars.
I was going to not call you up, but what did you say? Red across from me? Ooh, I shut it down. Yeah. I mic dropped with that red comment. Yeah. It was really good.
Give the guy a break. He's RB3. So what we wanted to do, thank you to our friends over at Rode who sent us a brand new Rodecaster. So we could,
so nice.
Yeah, it was very nice of them. So because the old Rodecaster wasn't, the Schmoebot was not working. What's happening? What's wrong? Something else going on? So the Schmoebot.
It didn't seem like we were good.
No, he's doing everything seemed fine. The Schmoebot itself is working now because they fixed it. So the Schmoebot is on RB3. Is that accurate? Yes, the Schmoebot is on. So we already had one, and we'll have to reread it a little later. But you guys can go on in there and do that, please. That keeps us on the air. By the way, we haven't put any new. I know that we talked about new formats and new things we're gonna do. None of that's been put into play yet. We're still talking about things. So streamlabs.com/Schmoedown. It's very important. Keep this show going and keep the people on this show that you love so very much. So keep those. What happened?
She's playing with the camera.
I wasn't in the shot, so I just, no, that's okay. He's just busy, so I just fixed it.
No, it's fine. It was just funny because I was listening to everything you were saying, and I agree with you. I just saw her like fix it and then wink at everybody, and then be like, "And now I'm
there."
I didn't wink.
I definitely saw you wink.
Then involuntarily. I'm sure I did it. Yeah, I didn't know I did it, but I've been told that I do that. So
straight out of his sweatpants is the outlaw John Roca. John,
this guy.
So I heard you gave a name of a.
It's not okay.
What?
When I have my headphones on, it's just not.
What? Drinking bubbly water. You know, now that you said that, you think that's the only one you're gonna get today?
I was gonna say you should have told me that.
The way that you do it is so wet. Yours isn't as bad. Yours is like an animal sound, like a This is like moist.
If you guys
that's what I'm saying.
People did not tune in for burps and movie commentary. They did not turn in.
No, sorry, it was farts.
You know,
it was farts.
So by the way, on February 29th, we're going somewhere.
Yes, we are.
We're going to a place where Dan.
Hot Lana.
Is that what you said yesterday?
Black Lana's what it is.
Black Lana.
Black Lana. Good God.
Now you're allowed to say that.
I am because I'm halfway there.
Yeah.
I'm halfway there. I'm in between white and black.
He
so I'm
gets
in the
more of
brown.
a pass.
So
than
I call
say,
it.
like
I'm not even
me.
half. I'm full blooded. So
You know what that makes me think though? Oh, Black Lana, bam, Lana.
I'm doing so much. It's in my head.
I know.
Sounds off, but
Yeah.
Me too. It's like yesterday was which one today?
Rhythms.
Yeah.
Rhythms.
That's why I gotta look. It's like
No, it's just like boom, 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 boom. Rhythms.
Kate. I was with Kate.
Rhythms.
My dear friend Kate.
Yeah. So Bonnie was gonna read
my
the because I really like the idea of her reading the Schmoebots out like at different
nice.
things. So she
Okay.
to no one's surprise, she canceled. So that's why Roka was late, and Roka's not usually a late person. He's only late because I texted him at the last minute, and I said, "Hey, do you want to come in?" He
I was
said,
in the
yes.
middle of my stream at 9:35.
Yes.
He's like, "Hey, can you come over?" I'm like, "Okay, see you guys. I'm going to send
That's it.
That's why when you said he was on and he was late, I didn't mean to call him out, but I said, "Is Roka late?" Because I got
Right.
like
Shocking.
you being late means like I should send a text and make sure you're okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's actually fair.
That's valid.
So there's a lot of cool things that we're going to be talking about today, and let's jump right into the Star Wars thing because I was pumped to see it. The announcement. I didn't know what this Project Luminous thing was. I had no idea, and to be honest, I didn't really care because before it was announced.
Well, I need you to break down the story for me in general. I'm
about
still
what's happening.
Yeah, honestly, I'm
we'll
confused.
dive into the whole thing,
Surprise.
but I didn't know anything about it. So I thought Project Luminous was just gonna I thought it was gonna be another one of these things where they're building it up to be this big, huge thing that it's like, oh yeah, and nobody cares about it. It's a thing that kind of comes and goes like a quick like web series and that's it. And that was not the case at all. The team that is involved in this process of all the writers and the stories they're going to tell inside of the High Republic, it takes place like 200 or 300 years before. Is that right, Ben? 200 or 300 years before the prequel trilogy, before episode 1.
The article said sequel. Maybe that was a
No,
typo.
I think it's episode 1 before it's like. But anyway, so it takes place. It's not necessarily Old Republic, but it's maybe their version of it. It's canon's version of it, maybe.
Okay.
And it's during the time when you see this whole video that they did, this 4 or 5 minute video, and all the executives are talking about the reason why why they wanted to do it. It's that line of, for thousands of generations, the Jedi were guardians of peace and justice. That's during this time. One of the times, and and I liked the way that they were the same artists who came up with the concept of Darth Maul is doing the concept for a lot of the Jedi, and they're like basically like Texas Rangers going across the galaxy, like instilling order. But there's other shit going down, and so these are all stories that are happening through these great writers. Claudia Gray being one of those writers. There's a lot of different writers that are involved, and it's going to be through novels and through Lucasfilm, Lucasfilm, the publishing, as well as Del Rey, and it's the first time that I've been excited about reading canon stuff again in quite a while, because I'm torn, because when I'm watching like Pablo Hidalgo and James Wan, those guys that are inside of the actual video there, these are people who, I mean, they are locked in to what Star Wars is, B, what Star Wars fans want. And when you're listening to them talk, and you're listening to and when you have Claudia Gray, you've already sold me with Claudia Gray. But the reason why I'm pretty excited about it is that this is a big push mainstream that the books and these things are getting that these books have not gotten. It's basically the hardcore fans were getting it. the hardcore fans were talking about it and about other, whether it's a comic run or whatever, a video game or whatever it might be. Well, Jedi Order got a pretty mainstream.
Yeah, it did.
And it's nice to see that the books are getting that kind of push because that never happened before. The side that makes me a little skeptic is that I wonder if this is like Kathleen Kennedy and people who don't get Star Wars as well saying, all right, let's see if they like this.
Yeah.
If they like this, maybe we'll take some of the movies and they're making movies, and then we'll take some shows out of it. And maybe that's a positive thing too. Sure. It makes me nervous, but maybe it's a positive thing. And
what's the part that makes you nervous?
Execution of previous things that have been made.
Yeah.
So if you have these books, and I love the team that is working on it right now. I love this team that, to be fair, Kathleen Kennedy is in charge of. That this writer's room, these artists, these people, these executives, and I don't think Pablo Hidalgo gets a lot of love. I don't think this guy James Waugh gets a lot of love. He is the guy who's really in charge of a lot of that stuff and making sure that everything connects, and that the video games and the books and all of it, he's watching over it, and you see him. Yeah. He's sitting in that room with Pablo Hidalgo and everybody else, and he's working through it. That's a positive thing.
He's a quiet guy making it all happen behind the scenes. I get your point, though, because you're like, great, we're going to tackle these stories, but do we trust the people who are tackling these stories to bring them to life in a way that we've been waiting to see them brought to life? Will the execution match the anticipation?
You're saying video games. You're saying TV and movies if it happens.
Yeah. And the Luminous stuff is another thing that's all tied into it. Like, will they be able? Because look, Rise of Skywalker split people, Jedi split people. Right. Most people are aboard Force Awakens, but like this is like you want to try them. You want to trust them again to see what they do with this. So yeah, I get your concern.
Yeah, my concern, but to be clear, the stuff that they are working on, I trust those people that are working. Right. It's a matter of if this becomes successful,
what's going to happen?
Like, what I hope is that it does become successful. They listen to and. Again, I've said it many times over, maybe that when Claudia Gray puts out another fucking hit, which she will, let her write a script. Let her write a script. Whether it's I mean, what are you doing? Everything she touches is gold. Who's going to write the next one? A Wookiee?
So damn, you gotta gotta start using that shit.
But you look at the timing of this though, right? Because I mean, who's this guy yesterday, Dillard? Is that his name? Who got announced?
Yeah,
or not announced, but like there was rumors of blah blah blah.
Doing a movie.
Yeah, doing a movie, and so this comes on the heels. Is Luminous connected to this? Down the road,
maybe,
yeah, and that they do a good job. There you go. They do a good job of synergy in that company with Star Wars. So I don't know.
Harrison Gibson in the regular chat over here says this is what you've wanted for so long: planning, interconnected storytelling, adapting the writers' works into TV and films. You can't complain when they're doing it. Oh, I'm not complaining, Harrison. I'm actually
you're just a little nervous. Right?
I'm not yet. I'm not complaining at all. This is absolutely what I wanted. This is what we can hope will happen. That these stories and that these comics and books and all of it that they're working on, that they can actually take that statement that Kathleen Kennedy made of we don't have source material. Now you certainly do.
Yeah.
So take this. If the positive side, how I led with this, the positive side is that you take this, you nurture this, you find all this great stuff, and then you adapt it into movies and television and spin off. So these stories are being continued through every medium that you have. That's the positive. Right. The negative side of it is what, are these problems that we've had on other issues, the Gareth Edwards problems, the Lord Miller problems, is that going to happen again as we then take it out of the hands of the Pablo Hidalgos and James Waughs of the world, and we start saying, okay, you guys have done your thing now. Thank you. Big guys are going to take it now. Right. And that shouldn't happen. The people, it's the same reason why, like, I think that Filoni was then brought in to work on Obi-Wan when that started to fall apart.
Yep.
Because it's like, why do things keep falling apart when they don't need to, when you just trust in the original creators that you hire in the first place and don't start meddling. and I'm worried about meddling. It's not the idea of what they're doing. The idea of what they're doing is exactly, you're 100% right, exactly what I wanted, and I'm glad that they're doing.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about this?
I honestly feel like for once in my life, I don't I don't care.
You don't care?
No, I am so
you don't read the stuff.
Yeah, so I'm so happy for you guys. And
Yeah.
I've said this a bajillion times. Fife gets mad at me when I call myself this, but I'm the most casual Star Wars fan there is. I
Why
love...
should she get mad at you about that?
Well, because she doesn't like the term, because she says if you're a fan, you're a fan. Like, you don't have to read everything to consider yourself a fan.
Well, I think in the same way that, like, I don't have a problem with that term, I guess, because like you're right, you're just classifying yourself.
I'm
as
deeming
to what
myself.
time.
Yeah, I'm not going to read all this. I love the movies. I could watch them there's never been a Star Wars movie I didn't like, so I'll just keep watching them because I love them as a fan. But like, I'm not going to read this stuff because.
Just wanted to chuck you a buck to support you awesome mother Fs.
Thank you, Will.
Roka, can't wait for London. Top 10 Boomayi. Roxy, keep being awesome in every way.
Thanks.
Winston, you the man. Kristian, I'll follow everything you do.
Thank you, Will.
Ben and RB3, keep up this great work.
Well, it's very nice. It's very, very nice.
I think people, when they say like casual fan, like I think they mean more in
it's the
terms of like
derogatory-
gatekeeping.
Oh,
like
yeah,
we're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that tweet that went viral is like, oh, you're not a fan unless you read the books, the comics, and all that stuff.
Oh, it's not.
That's silly.
I guess if somebody else was calling me that, it might be. But I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, if you yourself call yourself a casual fan for just liking the movies, that's fine. But
Yeah.
like when people like,
I get what you're saying.
like
And
diminutive, like
When they
your
use it
opinion
as a-
because you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
read the books.
And I
like-
love TV, so I'm a live action TV fan of Mandalorian. But like this week, for the first time ever, I watched. I don't even remember the name of the show. What was
Clone
it?
Wars?
Clone Wars. Yeah, I watched season 7, episode 1.
Did you like it? You're kind of lost.
Totally lost.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
didn't
like,
watch the other one.
totally lost.
Why do these guys all look alike? What's going on here?
Well, I was watching it, and I was like, this could be cool.
Right.
Like, I have no idea.
Because you're watching from season 7.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it looked cool.
Yeah.
I'll get that. Like I had to finish Love Is Blind first, and then Clone Wars is my next thing on the to watch.
You know,
You're
I
gonna
haven't
binge it?
Oh yeah.
You know, I haven't watched it either. But I haven't watched it because my daughter really wants to watch it with me. She's been going to sleep.
That
so
to me
earlier,
has
so-
been the sweetest thing about Star Wars in the last few years is you talking about you doing Star Wars shit with your daughter. To me,
It's
to-
more.
like-
I told you. I mean, that's why I said in the first place. I'm watching Star Wars and enjoying Star Wars a lot more now because I'm watching and I'm doing everything with her. She reads.
yeah.
She reads more of the books than I do.
Yeah.
She is firing through. She Master and Apprentice, which is the last Claudia Gray book. I still haven't had a chance to read. She read it in like 2 days. she just fires through this shit. And she's so good at it. She just knows all the. And it was funny because the other day I kind of geeked out a little bit to where somebody tweeted something at me about, it was cracking a joke about, it was, I think Tyson and Holyfield and Lennox Lewis all had like medals on, and they said something about like Chewie finally gets a medal and these guys get one too, or something. I can't remember what it was. And I wrote back, well, actually Chewie didn't get a medal in Rise of Skywalker. That was Han's medal, because it wasn't because people thought he was getting because Chewie, first of all, Chewie got his medal in a book.
Yes.
Which is the first thing. But my daughter, when I went to see it, like, because I didn't realize that it was Han's medal until I think someone pointed it out to me after I saw the movie the first time. My daughter turned to me as Maz Kanata hands it to him, right? Maz Kanata hands it to him, and my daughter goes, "That's Han's medal." Like right there. Wow. And I go, "How do you know that?" She's like, "Yeah, it's in one of my books."
Do you
She
think
knew
that
what it
part
looked
of her
like.
does that to make you feel proud?
Absolutely.
That's so freaking cool.
Absolutely.
That must make you feel like the best dad on the planet.
Yes, and the fact that I was like, I didn't pick that up, and she reads through all this stuff, and she's like, she knew right away it was Han's medal.
Yeah,
I was like, and someone, it was great.
Well, and that proves the point that they make this for
I was going to say
kids,
the same thing.
for the kids,
It's-
and you rediscover the joy of it by seeing it through kids.
But and I think the thing that people get when people say that, a lot of people like to get twisted about it. And even if it is for kids, it doesn't mean adults can't enjoy it. But
Yeah.
like that's the target audience. It just means that everybody can like access it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Watching my 7-year-old nephew go through it has been incredible.
It's the best.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Project Luminous. It's like I said, I was at first didn't know what to expect. The fact that they're taking it High Republic, and there's going to be, because we knew that the Sith were building throughout the time. They're hiding in the shadows because even the Emperor was like, at last we finally get to reveal ourselves, because the Sith have been running Rule of Two for a while. So I'm hoping that in one of those stories we find out like which Sith it was.
Yeah.
Because my hope, and I've been screaming from the hilltops about this too, and they seem like they're going in this direction, I'm hoping that we get a High Republic television show.
Oh yeah,
Because I think what they
Live action?
Yeah, And I think this is one of the things that I've been hoping for, and like the viewer just pointed out, was that if it starts to interconnect, and even as a casual viewer, as you call yourself, right, you're aware of this. You might not read it, but you're aware of it. And that's the point that a lot of people, there's some, like if you said to some people even in our space, and I brought up Lost Stars, and they'd be like, wait, what's that? But people who are not even like, and not you, because you're around us enough to where,
I get it.
But you know what I mean? People who are not in the Star Wars world, in our space, and you brought up Lost Stars, they might not know what it is. But they know what Project Luminous is because it's a big story now. Everyone's covering it. And it was very smart for them to do. I think it was a good marketing tool. And if they can start to take it this way, and maybe it's a new strategy of theirs. And if that's the case, then it's like good on everybody involved.
Yeah, and there's always the chance that if you guys read something that you're like, this is stellar, you got to pick it up. Yeah. And I'll be like, if you want to lend that to me, I'll borrow it.
Did you read Lost Stars yet?
No.
You would love Lost Stars.
Really?
My daughter just fired through that too. Yeah. Just fired through Lost Stars after she
There's
read.
an old mailbag episode where Roque's asked favorite movie the year they were born. Emma Fyfe said her favorite for Roaches is The Aristocats that came out in 1970. The Outlaw is 50. Unless he told her he was born in 70 and meant 1770. Who knows?
In that case, that was
Is that the movie Everybody Wants to Be a Cat?
What was your favorite movie?
so, yeah.
Mine wasn't a movie; it was an invention. The lamp.
1770.
that was exactly the movie he watched to get lit.
The lamp.
It just,
I mean, I remember when Ben came to
done,
me, he's
sir.
like, I've got
Well
an
done.
idea for electricity. And I'm like, it's never going to work.
It won't work. Thank you.
Put
You're
that
gonna
kite down.
You're gonna do what with the kite?
You're an idiot.
I still stand by, God was looking at you and he's like, I don't know, man, I'm kind of bored with all this darkness. You were like, why don't you just blow all this bitch up? And then all of a sudden stars came about and, you were just there, bro.
That's right. He is literally the Big Bang.
He set it off, man.
John the Big Bang Roca and his
man.
team partner Rachel the Switchblade Silvestrini.
Can someone give me the backup on that? What happened with that? Was that Ben?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to throw
Switchblade.
Silvestrini under the bus for this
Okay.
because even though it's her partner. It was the reason why both these ridiculous names were brought up. Both the Switchblade and the Greasers and
Greasers?
Slap the Carp.
No,
Seize the carp.
Seize the
I will
carp.
not ever
Seize
say
the
that.
Carp and the Switchblade were him, but she was the Greasers, he said.
She
You
was the
came up with
greaser.
Switchblade for her?
Yeah.
She told me he was all three.
So you wanted to be the bandit and the Switchblade? Is that?
Hell yeah.
The Bandit, the Switchblade, and the Greaser.
You sound like an episode of Soul Eater.
is
Like
that
she,
what it is?
she
Yeah.
turns
Their
into your
team
weapon
is
and
gonna
then
be
you
the
go.
Greasers?
Yeah, no, it's
No,
not.
no.
No. Okay.
You think I was going to prove the
Yeah,
Greasers?
true. Fair point.
I got the ridiculous phone call that I had from Kate Mulligan about the names of these teams.
Yeah, don't understand.
She's like, "Oh, do we have that song? By the way, is it in the?
No.
Do we? No, the new one. Do we have it, Roca? I got something for
It's just
you.
his instinct to hit the
No,
garbage.
here you
thing
go,
first.
Roca. Roca, listen to this.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead, Roca. Tell me about the Switchblade.
Ben, what are you doing? You can't be calling her the Switchblade son. She's the silver one from the beginning. She's been the silver one, the one that was promised, the one that can get there but can't get their gold. She's the silver one. What you're doing, you moron. You fool.
The great David B. again comes up with the music.
It's great music.
I'm
Wow.
loving the music that he's coming up with.
David
So,
B's the best.
look, we have first of all, thank you to everyone putting in the Schmoebots. Keep putting those Schmoebots in there. Like I said, it keeps the show going. It keeps us on the air. It keeps us happy and healthy over here. So go on over to streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown and get questions in there. And we're going to try something. What we are going to try to do something a little new here is that Ben Goddard will read out these Streamlabs, and I can still shift to the next one. But maybe it's a little easier that way. Maybe that way Ben's running, we can focus on the conversation. And I can move on. But I think the first one, Ben, that we should hit is actually from yesterday from Justin the Juice.
What are you
Can
doing?
you see
It's
that
on
one?
Streamlabs, just in the juice.
Yeah, I can read the first one. Then you.
I
can
got it.
You got it. All right, here we
Yeah.
go.
Kristian, even though this decision was made years ago, I always wondered what went into the decision to make the teams division have 6 questions in round 2 while the singles still only had 4.
Good question.
None of your business. No.
Great decision, by
Thank
the
you.
way.
Well,
Absolutely.
we changed the Star Wars division, by the way. Star Wars, it went up to patrons, the Star Wars match between Adam Witt and Sean Sullivan. That went up to patrons on Monday, and we changed the Star Wars division non-title. There's 5 questions in round 1, and then 10 will be for title matches. So that's something.
Is that because too many people were getting them right in round one? It wasn't fun to watch.
No. I wish. I mean, if was the case, I mean, because no, I don't mind the round ones being a little easier. I think
Okay.
that gets people more involved. Not that. No, the reason why was because Star Wars there's less matches. And at Star Wars, there's less questions because now, especially now that we only have 10 movies or whatever, 11 movies, they're going to cut back on doing movies for a little bit. Instead of diving into The Mandalorian or Clone Wars and stuff and making Star Wars competitor go into TV, we just decided to cut back on some of the questions in the first round.
You were nervous that you guys were going to run out of questions based on the material.
Yeah, we're already going to have to
available.
recycle questions, which is fine. But we also want to make sure that it's almost like changing up. It's just if you're Star Wars competitor, you get 5 questions in the first round, and makes it a little easier for you to and allows us to have more Star Wars matches because now we can have more Star Wars matches and
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I know you do. But I'll tell you what
Tell me.
So Sean Sullivan and Adam Witt are both really good at Star Wars. So
This I know.
I think you're going to have more competition this year for Alex Damon.
That I don't.
Do you know he's in town, by the way?
This is your faction.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
He told me he was on the plane, but I didn't know that.
Well, the plane lands.
Yeah, he's only
No,
in town.
not to hear. Not to hear.
Oh.
He just
To
told me he was
Atlanta.
on.
On a
He
plane.
said I'm on a plane.
Well, he went to Project Luminous. He went to the Project
He's
Luminous.
kind of
that
Project
makes
Luminous.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I think it was like an impromptu thing because he was I was gonna meet.
Yeah,
with
we
him.
were texting.
Yeah.
I mean, like literally a few hours.
Do you think you've speaking to him? Do you think you've spoken to him
I'm
more?
texting him right now.
Wait, do you think that
You gotta add that RB3.
I'm gonna say, are you in Los Angeles?
How many times do you think, and be honest, John, how many times has Dagnino spoken with Emily Rose Jacobson leading to this fight?
Well, to be fair,
Yes.
we have a
Group
Twitter
text?
DM chain.
Okay.
So
That's always happening.
yeah, that's how it's communicated.
Roxy, how often do you and Alex Damon actually speak? Like talk to each other?
Often.
Yeah.
Very often.
that's the thing.
Yeah, very often.
So, question for Winston: Do you
I'm
think
scrolling and
Alex
scrolling.
Damon
Yeah,
has
we're
ever
very
called
often.
his hometown what Roka calls it?
No, have you seen Alex's
Damon's
reflection?
pastier than
Nah, not at all. He might call it Death Star Atlanta, but he's not.
Yeah. But that's all right. So Ben, let's go to the next one.
Oh my God. I'm
Accuser
so
of the
upset.
bagels.
Yes.
Y'all know how I feel about Roka, but I have to say I don't like anything dancing in front of me that I can't have either.
I don't know
Yeah.
what's
That was about your-
what was that yesterday?
Yeah. I was saying I don't like strip clubs. I don't like anything dancing in front of me that I can't have.
Oh,
That's why I don't go window shopping. I don't go.
Really?
I mean,
Look at
I
that
don't-
TV that I can't buy. I don't do that.
I don't disagree.
Thank you.
You know, like, because then what are you doing? You're just
Yeah, what are you doing? You're throwing money.
You're throwing money to get
Have you
turned
ever
on.
watched porn?
They're the original
No,
YouTube.
but that's different. Because
different. Your imagination runs wild.
Because in
He
that,
doesn't in a strip club?
well, but here's the thing: in a strip club, you can't touch yourself. If you're watching porn, you can be like, "Great," you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So you mean you can have
Right.
it in a different way? Like
Right.
Yeah,
you're
you
having
can.
it. It's not.
it's the satisfaction.
but like in the
That
club,
actually
you gotta.
made sense.
In the
Both
club, you
was a
gotta
very
tie your
good-
you know what it is,
arms
Roxy?
behind your
Here's
back
the
and be
answer
like-
to you. Both ways
Yeah.
end with some kind of pleasure, but one you
One's
pay a lot of
there.
money for, and the other one you don't.
I didn't tell you something.
Oh,
Please
okay.
get Irish
Hold on.
Roka, Obama, Al Pacino, and
Oh.
Russian Ben expressing disbelief in Roxy not knowing the demon
That's
is in
really
town.
good. Okay, what is that? So keep that up there, please. Get Irish Roca, okay, Obama, Pacino, and Russian Ben.
Russian
is there a
Ben?
Russian
Is that a
Ben?
new thing?
Expressing disbelief
Oh,
in
I gotta
Roxy.
hear
All right,
this.
fine.
Oh, he just responded to me.
What'd he say?
Do you guys want to know before you give me your
Yeah, go ahead.
shtick?
Sure.
Yeah.
Good day, crew.
Well.
Glad to see you fixed me. Can we please get Irish Roka,
Oh, we're doing it
Obama,
again.
Al Pacino, and Russian Ben
two of them?
expressing
Thank you.
disbelief in
no,
Roxy
it's
not
not two.
knowing
Oh, it's
the
the same
demon is
one.
in
You
town?
replayed it.
I'm able to replay.
Look at that. We can replay your
Nice.
Schmoebots too, everybody.
Look at this new board.
What's the skit?
So you're the Russian Ben. You got Al Pacino, Obama, and Irish Roca talking about the disbelief of Roxy. Okay. All right. Hey guys, did you hear this? She's got the Star Wars champion. This guy, he's good. I mean, real good. Problem is, she don't know he's in town. Gone. Obama, what you think?
It doesn't make sense to me. Look, the most confused person on this planet is Joe Biden, and I knew where he was at all points in time.
Joe.
All points in time.
It's true, Joe, under the bus there, didn't you? Listen, I think it's terrible as well. It speaks to bad management. She has no idea where her guy is. He flew cross country to cover something, and you didn't think, oh, he might be here for a Star Wars event to try and find out where he is.
Can I tell you one thing?
I love your show, by the way.
You got black hair.
Yes.
And you're more Irish than De Niro in The Irishman. What you got there, you Russian?
Soviet Russia, manager texts you. You don't text manager. So I truly believe that in this cold climate, we should be texting each other and letting you know that it's Project Luminous. Why you no text? It's Project Luminous.
All right,
Exactly.
I love that. That's not. Oh my God.
I'm reading back through our text right now
All right,
to
go
see
ahead.
if I missed something. And he said we've got 2 quick business trips, so the flights will be good because we were figuring out which films he needs to watch more of, so the flights are good for that. So I knew he was flying. I just didn't know to.
You didn't think to ask
hear.
him where the business trips are?
No,
It's not necessarily a
I'm
bit.
talking about
Well,
the game.
no, I get it. I'm just laughing because for somebody that always wants to know
No,
everybody
everybody-
else's fucking business, you didn't want to know where his business trip
All right,
was.
well, either way, so she's
Yeah,
gonna.
I'm really upset right
I will
now.
say this though, this is pretty exciting for those Schmoedown fans out there. Backstage is going to be Explosion City. Listen to this crew. Not only do we have Goddard, obviously engineering, you've got John Roca who's hosting.
Hello.
John Roca is
sorry.
hosting. Roxy Striar will be on the show, and Tom Dagnino.
Okay.
Oh, I wish I didn't have
Wait.
shit to do.
I know,
was
right?
sad.
I'll talk more about this today on Backstage, but can I say briefly
Yeah.
that I was listening to the show you sent me.
Oh, the rundown.
Yeah.
How great was
They're amazing.
Gilmore
They're
and Janice?
amazing.
If you guys are not
But I
listening
do
to
have-
Schmoedown Rundown, oh
I
my
do
God.
have one that. Did you listen this week?
Did you listen to
I wasted my time for an hour.
it was
I
great.
do think that they did get one thing wrong.
What was
I
it?
do
One
think
thing
that-
wrong?
I do think they got something wrong.
They got 25 things wrong.
They said that there is miscommunications in the faction.
Yeah.
And they did say they gave a lot of blame to Tom, but they put some on John too, saying that you should, if your manager's not talking to you, you should.
Was driving down the highway and saw a garbage bag with an arm hanging out of it on the side of the road. Called the cops and they opened it and it had a note inside the bag that said subscribe to the Luminous podcast.
That was good.
Thank goodness.
Thank God the Schmoebot is back.
Yeah.
Thank God the Schmoebot is back.
That
Keep the
was-
Schmoebots
that
coming.
made me nervous.
Go ahead. So you were saying
Oh my God. I
it
think
was
that
Roca's fault.
Yeah, those two
them-
love to blame
them
me for
saying
shit.
that is to me ludicrous.
Of course.
There is never a time where there's going to be a miscommunication with me and my players, and it's my players' fault.
Right.
Period. Like that's not the way it goes. If Tom doesn't say here's what we're doing for the draft, you guys think that it's John's job to go and say, hey, I'm just curious, where are you going to pick me? No.
Can I give you your new nickname?
Yeah.
Kaiser Soze. That's who you are.
I like it.
What?
Kaiser
You-
Soze.
and it's not because she's Kevin Spacey, but because she's a Kaiser Soze. Yeah.
That part I don't like
No,
as much.
Kaiser Soze, because I know you so well. I know what you just did, just right there.
What did
I
I
know
do?
you're
She
doing
just
right
threw another grenade.
Yeah, but it doesn't work.
I believe you're full of shit because here's the thing. Everything that she said,
Yeah.
100% she believes. And
Yeah.
she's being genuine.
Well,
But
that's
she-
true.
Oh, yeah.
What I just said is
100%.
true.
I agree with you
Yeah.
absolutely, but you're also saying it because you know eventually you're going to try to get him.
He knows that if he would here's what happened in my live stream this week.
Yes.
Somebody came in and said that you want to go over to Kaiser, and that
I mentioned that
and
Kaiser would be a great
and
choice.
that I should talk to your girlfriend about it because she wants you to go over to Kaiser. And what
Is that true? She wants you to leave Dagnino?
Huh?
Does your girlfriend want you to leave
She
Dagnino?
hates Dagnino. She thinks I called last week on Backstage or 2 weeks ago when I was on.
This is getting better by
I
the minute.
texted her and I said, "Do you want to come on Backstage?"
I was on the show. with
Yeah,
you,
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah, Roxy was on, and I said, I texted her, "Do you want to come on Backstage? Call in and tell everybody what you really think about Tom as my manager." Because she goes nuts about Tom.
Yeah.
When
The
Tom,
draft, this.
when Tom was standing in front of Dan during the post-match interview with Riley's match, she was going insane.
He
But no-
has a
but no
history of doing
shit.
that, by the
She
way.
should
He
be, but-
stands in front of everyone. He's
Yeah,
been doing
yeah.
RB3 never gets mad at anything.
Yeah.
RB3 one time wanted to rip Tom's head off because he just would not move out of the fucking way.
It's spectacular. The same thing.
What I said in response to that was, I never, and it's my stance across the board, am ever going to convince anybody to be on my team.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody wants to be on my team, I want them there. And if they are not dying to be a rock star, I don't want them there.
So you don't recruit people?
I believe that if somebody approaches me and asks me what I think about them, what I could do with them, then I would talk that through. But no, I'm not going to go to somebody's girlfriend and try to convince them because I don't want somebody to be with me if that's not where their heart is.
Well, to be fair, Kaiser didn't go intentionally to. My girlfriend and him just hit it off
Oh.
with Megan there and who else was standing there.
Yeah.
The four of them were having that conversation.
Absolutely.
So she came to me afterwards. She goes, if you're going to go with any other managers, you go with Kaiser. I like him. I like him.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
And if she wants you to, and that's what you want, that is what you should do. And it's not my place to go and talk to your girlfriend, who I think is amazing, by the way. And we've had many a conversation.
Yeah,
so
she
she
loves you.
knows me.
How much?
you
Let me
know?
be honest. How much do you love this? You love the fact that it's like a LeBron situation.
But I can't do anything.
You can't.
No, because no one has anything they can trade Tom for me and Dan. Because it would be me and Dan. I'm not going without Dan.
Right.
I refuse to leave without
How do you
Dan.
feel about Bateman walking in front of Dan at the last live show in New York?
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
You're good at this
you
too.
know. but listen.
I see you, boy.
Trying to get us
I
some
see
swag,
you,
you know,
boy. Let's go.
This is what frustrates me because I'm like, all these other factions are coming at us for all their bull, and they can't even win their matches. So like, we're operating on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So what we are trying to do, and us slamming into each other, is massively large egos that have earned their spots on the stage. So we're
Yes, you
gonna
have.
slam into each other.
But to that point, first of all, you're not just gonna come for me like that and think I'm not gonna address that.
Come for you?
What you just said, all these factions trick or treat and shit can't win.
Yeah,
their
if you
matches.
took it personal, I didn't mean it.
No,
just saying in
that
general.
was a side swipe, and let's
No,
be
Barney
real.
is the side swipe. I'm hitting direct at corruption. Kalinowski and Barney. They're
that's
trying
fair.
to stay so relevant.
I
fair.
hear what you said. I think it's fair what you just said.
No, I don't disagree. I get it. Y'all are the champs. Like across the board, y'all are the champs right now. But at the same time, if you notice that the teams that actually end up being dynasties in sports are the ones that have figured out how to communicate. And
Kobe and Shaq won 3 titles and they hated each other.
And then they got rid of it, and they remember
They did.
how Shaq and Kobe both were like, we could have won like another 5.
Of
if we
course.
figured
That's why
this
he doesn't
shit
wanna
out.
leave.
Right, but we'll be there. We'll win
But
three.
the-
We'll win 3 titles.
You already did, bitch.
But what I will say is this: there's so much. This is a smidge of the conversation.
Yeah.
There's going to be
Yeah.
a lot of it on backstage today at 12:30. It's going to be Roca,
I have
Roxy,
questions
and
for
Dagnino.
Tom.
Sure, and I can't wait.
Honest
do.
to God questions.
And you got to try to get straight answers.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I have to try because
Ask me one question. That's Dagnino.
why did you draft Roca 4th round?
I mean, come on. This is a guy who's been around for a long time. So when you take a John Roca, you know, winners, they pick winners.
That's exactly what
You
he
should
sounds
hold
like.
Finstock to no managers being he officially announced it here last week and you triple clarified and he agreed. Hypocrisy is the worst thing, champs or not.
I don't disagree with you, but it's like, look, I asked him to make. The thing is, he said he was making an official decision. He said,
Yes.
and that's what he did it on the air. And then when Dan goes, well, no one consulted with me. And oops, just kidding.
Yeah.
But I that's the only, and we can put this to bed because you're going to talk about it on backstage. We've talked it to death. I think, honestly, and that is the real problem, and I get why you want off.
I don't want off.
By the end of the year, you mean?
By
I
the-
never
the
said
end
I
of the
don't
year.
want off.
You said by the end of the
year.
You said by the end of the year you don't think you'd be there.
Keep my options open.
And I get what you're saying
Like
about
Durant.
Yeah, but it's the communication part of
Yeah,
things.
it's
and
frustrating.
like honestly, I mean RB3. How many times have I hit up the whole crew trying to figure out shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure Roxy, like, with the exception of not knowing that Damon was in town, is
He
also.
said, by the way, he said, "Oh shit, I'm sorry, LOL." So
All right, let's
feel
move
better
on.
Wait, I want to ask you one question.
Yes.
One real quick question.
Yes.
Dan brought up something on my live stream on Outlaws, Mornings with the Outlaw, and he mentioned if this is a precedent going forward, that the manager manages the champion in a match. If by some situation down the road,
You play him.
we play
Yeah.
the who's the boss for the titles,
Oh,
does Finstock manage us over who's the boss?
listen, that's again, it's not a precedent that
Commissioner needs to speak. We need to
I
hear
don't,
him
think
Clark
it's
Wall.
I don't think it's
Clark-
the commissioner that needs to speak. It's your manager.
No,
that
no,
needs
there
to
needs to be a
speak.
precedent in
There
the
is
league.
there is a precedent, and the precedent is this, and this has always been the precedent.
Yeah.
The precedent it wasn't. He might have told you, well, I need to manage a champion. That's what he told you.
Right.
It is his choice to pick who
100
he wants to
100%,
manage, and then
100%.
assign the other person or pick no manager at all. So the example.
Okay.
So here's the thing. So if you guys were the champions and who's the boss
Yep.
makes it to that fight, then Tom would be in the same position. He would say, who am I going now? But the difference this time is who's going to be your manager? Barbarian?
Right.
You know, like at this point, he's got guys who's riding tight. Is it Emily Rose Jacobson? Like who's your manager at that point? Or at that point, does he do the no manager thing?
Do we get to choose the manager? Or he has to choose a manager for us.
He chooses it. It's his faction.
But then that's where he needs to speak to y'all and figure that shit out.
Honestly, if I was managing this faction, there would have been 0 issues. This is the easiest thing I've ever fucking heard of.
But we got to move on.
Yeah, sorry.
So Ben, let's get to the next one.
This is their donation name, Roka's Fragile Little Ego. My new favorite YouTube personality is officially Josh from Mythical Kitchen. Dan Merle and Ken Knapsacher second and third.
Thank
I
you.
would love to see him interact with you guys. If you get him on the show, I'll go from $10 to $100 Patreon for the next 6 months.
Wow. Look.
Wow.
Magical who?
Mythical Kitchen.
Mythical Kitchen, they're dope.
Okay.
Yeah, super dope.
Did we get to Eric Schmoebot about lightsaber fights?
No, that was the first one, and we didn't.
Oh, that was when the music
it kind of
was
came in
playing,
with the music. So why don't you read that one?
I'm a little disappointed to hear.
What happened? Oh, yeah, that's right. You can play it again.
Okay.
So, that's right. We can replay
All right, so,
now.
let me know when you're going to replay it.
So in the meantime, why don't you read Jeremiah Morris's and we'll do it. Yeah.
Jeremiah Morris, hey, all big fan of you guys. Thanks for the laughs and please never stop being you.
And thank you, Jeremiah. And I will say, Jeremiah is a massive fan.
Hey, I'm back, motherfuckers, and I'm so hyped for Atlanta.
Thank you, Jay
Can't
Golden
think of a better way to spend a Jackson right now. Thanks for providing entertainment daily.
Well, thank you, and I'm glad that I'm glad that the Schmoebot is back. Who's calling me right now? Is it someone we can answer the phone?
This fraud risk.
Who lives in Seal Beach?
California?
Finstock.
But Roka's
house sitting.
Yeah, house sitting. But
there was something in the air that night. The stars were bright. Hey, Mondo. They were shining there for you and me, for liberty. Hey, Mondo.
Thank you, Charlie Brown. Atlanta is hyped. We are sold out, by the way. I don't know if everybody knew that. I didn't get a chance to mention it yesterday. I don't know if you mentioned it yesterday in the show. Sold
4
out.
times.
Okay. Well, but the live stream.
Unreal.
Yeah, the live stream is available, by the way. The live stream is available, and that is same thing. The Schmoedownlive.com. The Schmoedownlive.com. You can get the live stream. The way that works is for $10 patrons, you'll have it until. I mean, it's going to be available for at least a week, maybe a week and a half until it airs. Same thing for the live stream. $5 patrons will get it about 3 or 4 days after it comes out, and then all patrons get it about before. Actually, no, 3 days is for $5, and then 5 days is for the all patrons.
What does somebody do if they didn't buy their ticket? Are you guys?
Kristian, will you be selling MTS brand treadmill nugs?
Yes.
Maybe create a whole league where you have to eat one before the match.
Yes.
Have you eaten your nugs?
Yes.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown.
I like that.
Maybe Finstock could play and stop being a failure of a manager.
True.
Agreed.
What were you asking?
What do you do? Are you going to do a giveaway? Like
For
what
more
if somebody?
tickets?
Yeah. Is it sold out? Sold out? Like if you live in the Atlanta area, you blew it.
It is sold out, but if somebody wrote soon and said that they wanted to get, I don't know, maybe 4 to 6 tickets tops, then I could probably get the theater to maneuver about that many seats left. But
there's about 4 to 6 seats that you might be able to maneuver.
We don't have to. It's sold out, but they could if somebody really wanted tickets and they messaged the Schmoedown group or emailed schmoescontact@gmail.com, then we can probably get a few more in there, but it would be general admission, I think. So just double check that.
No promises.
Yeah, no promises. Okay, Ben. Did we get that? Did we get Eric's back and running the Schmoebot there? It won't let her play. All right, so go ahead, Ben. Go ahead and read it.
I'm a little disappointed.
No, you're not working
I'm a
over
little
there.
disappointed.
Try it again.
I'll just repeat what you say.
I'll do it. I'll do this one. I'm a little disappointed to hear that there'll be lightsaber fights in season 2. I am not. I think that's great. I prefer to stay Wild West gunslinger style. Who's to say that they won't, by the way? I know we have the Darksaber in the series, but I think that is enough. We have the saga for lightsabers and the Force. Oh, I couldn't disagree more.
What are we talking about, Mandalorian?
Yeah. Giancarlo Esposito said that there will be epic lightsaber fights in the second season.
Well, from where I don't want to. That spoiled a lot for people who hadn't seen it, but
hadn't seen what?
The Mandalorian. So, what?
Oh.
Yeah, that just spoiled a lot of stuff that happened.
Yeah.
So there's things that happen inside of it, obviously, from that paragraph alone, that that we're gonna see. We're gonna see what state of the galaxy it is, because it's not the rule of the Emperor of kill all the Jedi.
Yeah,
like maybe this particular group is, but Luke Skywalker won. Motherfuckers. So maybe he's installing new things, and there's new Jedi that are out there too. I've had enough of no lightsabers fights from a lot of people. I mean, we had a bunch in Rise of Skywalker, which is cool. Yeah. It was good to see that. But and it's usually between like 3 or 4 people, maybe. Let's start seeing. That's why I'm excited about this High Republic stuff too. Yeah. Everybody's gonna be fighting with swords.
New characters is always fun.
Yeah. What's next, man?
Where do we know? Paul Denuzio. In honor of last night's chill to action, can we get drunk Winston ranting about John Roca and Jay Washington harassing him last night?
Yeah.
What happened?
What happened?
I saw Call to Action last night. And by the way, they're at like almost 800 subscribers. If you're watching this show right now, bring up Call to Action in another tab and get these guys to 1,000. Get them to 1,000.
Clarification for when Swag beats another faction. If it's his seasoned veterans, it's a win. And if his rookies, it's only a little win.
That's good.
That's pretty
That's
good.
good.
That's
If a
pretty
rookie
good.
wins this little win.
Little win.
But Call to Action. Go over there, get them to 1,000 subscribers, and help them out. And it's a good. They have so many different shows in there, especially if you're a Schmoedown fan. They have the interview. Roka's going on next week.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, there's gonna be.
I'm gonna be in.
They
the
do.
comments.
The Schmoebaits are really good. They just have another show where they just basically talk about the matches that were there. They do reactions. It will serve all your Schmoedown needs. So go on over there. They have great interviews with almost everybody in the show.
I love during the height of our feud, they wouldn't do any reaction videos to the matches that I won.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
they
pretty
did
funny.
all the reaction videos to the matches I lost.
Yeah,
They
I'm
had no
looking
problem
forward to
with
that show. That might even beat Ellis's.
Yeah.
Because Ellis
Oh, man,
Ellis
I don't
says
know.
2,000. I know it's pretty.
Ellis is great.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with it. It's the fact that it's built up. Go ahead. So we're going to do drunk Winston complaining about getting harassed in the Call to Action podcast. Here we go.
I don't really understand why George Washington and John Black Lamb was just in the chat. I was just trying to live my best life. And,
George Washington and him grew up together, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You knew our first prime minister? That's amazing. I mean, I was just there talking about how life was hard, and this guy over there talking about how it was hard when there was no electricity.
Trust.
So I was fine. I don't know. I mean, I appreciate being on the.
Who's Wanda?
Where? Why?
Very good. Charlie Brown put in a Schmoebot, and then I guess we got Tishka Productions there.
Nice.
Your microphone sucks. Can we get a date for Houston? I'm ready to book my travel and snag some of the VIP tickets. Thoughts and prayers for the Schmoebot. Well, the Schmoebot is up and running, so no more thoughts and prayers for the Schmoebot. So date for Houston. Yeah, I would say 85% that it's going to be April 25th in Houston. So do not have matches yet because we're still building out some stuff too. But
Roca, this is Smets. I'm asking you one last time. Please stop calling me asking for studying advice for Star Wars. I sent you a copy of Star Wars for Dummies and still that wasn't enough. It's getting to the point where I may have to change my number.
Yeah.
you still want to go to the dungeon?
He should change his number.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should change his sweatshirt too and wash it maybe once in a while.
You still
Smell
want
it,
to?
son of a bitch.
You still want to go to the
That's
dungeon?
Wait,
the lot coming from you in that fucking hat, bruh.
What
It was
happened?
actually smashed.
Oh, I cleaned that
You
hat.
need to clean that motherfucking
I cleaned that hat. You don't
does
see
that?
sweat rings.
Last
on that hat.
time I was around you in that hat.
Stinks. Yeah. So what would you do this trade if you were Kaiser? Would you trade Robert Parker? He doesn't. I don't think he has enough.
He doesn't have enough.
I don't think he has
He'd
enough.
have to trade
Give me-
Smets.
Give me the end of the sentence.
You would have to. No, I would have to. You know what? I would ask you if I was.
I'm gonna whoop that
for
ass,
Roxy.
Smets.
Roxy trades the Odd Couple and Alex Damon for the Founding Fathers. Would you do that? Because that's the kind of power you're going to have to give up for the Founding
Who
Fathers.
else you got?
He's just asking that question.
That
I'm just
specific
asking that
one.
Right.
You got the Star
You're
Wars
saying if
champion,
he was
Right.
me.
who is an inner geekdom player,
Right.
and then you have obviously
And then the odd
who
couple.
who have a big match with Who's the Boss.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
I would probably say no. And my only reason is because neither of y'all play Inner Geekdom, right?
Nope.
Dan is.
Dan's gonna.
Oh,
be
Dan is?
Yeah.
I forgot. Oh, well,
Dan's been studying like
that. That was what I was gonna say.
Then maybe yes.
If Tom Dagnino offers you that trade, I know you wouldn't because I know how much you love the Odd
She's
Couple.
too loyal.
You take that trade in a fucking second.
But that's my thing. If I didn't
you
realize that
would,
Dan was
Kristian?
IG.
in a heart.
I didn't
You
realize
would
that Dan.
It's-
Yeah.
and-
I would not take that trade.
because
I would not
I know
take
you
that
wouldn't
trade.
because you're
You're upgrading. Stop being loyal.
I'll tell you.
You're upgrading.
I'll tell you.
I
Here's
would
why.
want a loyal manager. I would think that anybody would want a loyal manager.
Do you want to win?
Yes, both.
Yeah.
Both.
Okay.
I think it's dependent on a couple of things because we'll see what happens. There's a lot of different matches coming up. Snyder's locked in for some matches, and Draco's locked in some matches. They're locked in as teams. If they win, then it is definitely something that you have more bargaining tool that maybe you don't have to. If they lose, then it's something you might want to look into.
What's tough about Alex Damon is that he doesn't have as many matches to play, so it's going to be harder to get.
Not necessarily. If he wins against Emily
when he wins against Emily,
if he does,
And he won't.
If he does on Saturday, then he becomes an inner geekdom. If he becomes a potential double belted geek player, which has never happened before, then he's got a lot of value. So anyway,
what do they use for band-aids in Star Wars? Like, how do they heal lightsaber strikes?
Glue.
Because he's gonna need him.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna need him.
What's
Emily's gonna leave him.
is your mic working yet or no?
What?
Emma's gonna leave him in pieces.
It was back
I
for a
think I
second.
get where you were
Check.
going at, but
Yeah,
it was
you're
your
working.
best.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's. So anyway,
do
the Houston is something for sure. All right, C. Bonnius just says no one calls it Hotlanta.
Yeah.
Next,
What the stupid?
go ahead. Next one.
C3P
That's- what? No,
Still nothing?
no.
Am I
C3
talking too loud?
No,
there you go.
you're good.
Now it's
I
working.
was talking too loud and it cuts
Okay.
out.
No.
Sir?
No,
You're gone. You're
Forget
gone.
it. Closer. Forget it. C3P Diddy. Roca, sir, thank you very much for the advice you gave yesterday on depression. I'm man enough to say that I needed the help, and I did start meditating and will continue to do so. And I'm getting back into the Schmoedown studying. I'm in outlaw mode now. Hashtag Outlaw Nation. That's great. And the other thing I will say is this. That was very nice of you to say, and I love when Brett and you guys talk about it. I was a massive boxing fan for a very long time. I mean, massive. And then I transferred into being an MMA fan, and just, life gets in the way, and I'm just not as much. I still love both sports. Just don't watch them as much. This Tyson Fury, this guy is the epitome of what a heavyweight champion should be. Vladimir Klitschko was not that. Vitaly Klitschko was not that. We have not had a champion like this. And I'll tell you, when Brad Gilmore texted me the other day, I thought Wilder was going to win the fight.
Of course.
And
don't be surprised if Gilmore picked the wrong choice again.
He picked Wilder also.
Yeah.
But when I have been listening to this dude talk, we haven't had a heavyweight champion like this since maybe Holyfield.
Really?
The way that this guy talks, and even maybe more so, he is, and he's a guy that he was. Did you watch his interview with Richard Eisen?
I watched everything.
Rich Eisen?
Because he's a mental health guy.
And that was the big thing.
I watch everything he does.
So do you know the story? What he went through?
Maybe. I guess maybe not. I've been watching a lot of stuff around the match.
Well, so he's undefeated, obviously, as a champion, but he was the champ in 2016, and he said it. He's like, I was going through some stuff. You might think that I should be happy. I was depressed every day. I contemplated suicide every day. And he's like, one day I got into my car, and I was in a fast, in one of those power cars, and I was going 130 miles an hour. I said, this is it. I'm done. And he said, a voice popped into my head and said, don't do this. Think of your kids. He's like, I called my dad. My dad helped me out. He's like, I came from a family where it wasn't cool to show weakness and to show that you were sad and everything too, and I bottled it up, and he's like, and he's another thing that he said, he's like, mental health, people think, oh, you battled it, you came back from it, is it done? He's like, it's never done. And he quoted the Eagles, and he said, he was just like, it's like you can leave, but you can't check out.
Hotel California.
And he's Hotel California. So he said, and it was just like, but he's always fighting. He said, yesterday I had a bad day. Day before that was good. Yeah. Whatever it is. Yeah. The point is that he was that he was there, and he's been having these conversations. The other thing this guy did that nobody's talking about, and he didn't want people to talk about, was that his purse, he made like $7 with the pay-per-view.
Yeah. He
made like $7 or $8 million. He was in Los Angeles. He saw the homeless people out there, right? He donated the whole purse to the homeless. $8 million to the homeless. Because and when someone asked him about it, he's like, yeah, I didn't do it to have people talk about it. I just did it because I saw people and I wanted to help. Right. Who is this fucking guy? This guy is I can't believe the type of human that he is. And he's like he's just a real dude.
Yeah.
He's a real, so I became I saw him in WWE when he was there, and I
Strowman.
I kind of tuned in, and I was like, okay, bye. But listening to him talk, I am so glad that this is the guy right now that is representing the boxing.
Wilder?
What's that?
This is Wilder?
No, Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy, I was very impressed by him.
Unrelated to everything you just said, because that is all amazing.
Yes.
But on him, there was like that one shot afterwards. I'm just surprised like the way that his body physically looks for how amazing he is as a. Is that a weird thing to say?
No, I know exactly what you're saying. But you know what the thing is, Roxy, because I know exactly what you're talking about. He's not like cut up.
Yeah.
Nope. But he's got a heavyweight champion's boxer's body. When you think about like Holyfield was too muscular for a heavyweight champion. Like he was like a lot of, like that was even when Tyson was fighting. Tyson was big.
Tyson was scary,
but
man.
he wasn't a cut muscular dude. He was just a big fucking dude. Right. And that's what a lot of these like you like,
even Ali was soft around the middle.
Yes, because but he's got it. It's the endurance that is the big thing.
It's his brains too. He understands the game, and when the first fight with Deontay, his trainer told him stay outside of that right hand and just point your way to victory. Just get those points. And then he got knocked down twice. In this fight, he changed trainers, and the trainer said no. Walk right into this fool and make him hit you and show him that you're not afraid of that right hand of his. And he owned Wilder from the beginning. And Wilder's bullshit excuses, I don't know if you saw that. He triggered the rematch clause, so he's going to do a 3. But he said that that thing he wore out to the ring was 40 pounds and it affected his legs and he hadn't worn it until the night before. And I was like, dude, take your loss like a man.
I want to see him fight. I want to see him fight Joshua.
Because this is
He's going to kill Joshua.
Third time today that somebody has said that. And I honestly.
The hat thing?
No, the like a man thing.
Oh.
This phrase is just confusing.
I'm sorry. You're
out.
right.
Well, only because, I know we don't talk about this stuff on the show, but so I'm not talking about the like actual thing that happened, but with Harvey Weinstein yesterday, the first thing that his lawyer said afterwards was he took it like a man. And it was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? I just don't even know. Don't be sorry. I just want to flag it because every time I think about it now, I'm just like, I don't even actually know what that means anymore.
Just to speak to that directly, it's kind of what you said that Tyson said. That's what we've been taught. Is that you don't show emotion.
The toxic
you don't show weakness.
And that sucks for you guys. There shouldn't be like you. I would like to take things like a person, like a human being.
I shut it off because I just don't want to deal with anything. All right, let's get to the next one.
Is this working?
Yeah, it works now.
Hey, look at that.
All right,
Is this thing on?
So, but Willie Loggy put in a Schmoebot. Now we're at Peter McMahon.
Peter McMahon finally watched Roxy's one-on-one and wanted to tell her, after hearing your whole story, you seem like such a strong person, and I'm so impressed with the way you took things that happened to you and turn it into positivity and who you are now. Better, not bitter.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Kristian, to this day, I get so many comments on that. Awesome. Like on my YouTube video, the one-on-one that Kristian did. You know how he used to have the one-on-one show where he would interview people? Just so many comments still. Like on my YouTube channel, almost every video somebody will looked you up after just watched one-on-one.
Yeah, I think it's getting to know. Yours was another one. I think that was you really got to know the person more so than just the people that you saw on Clatter Live.
Yeah, because despite how much
I was gonna say Tom probably has the funniest one-on-one of all time. But.
So he had 2, and the one because I started it as the Harloff podcast, what I did on the old Schmoes thing, and I had there was like 10 people that I had on that version of it, which ultimately became one-on-one. And Tom's interview on that one is even better than the one that I did for one-on-one because it was crazy. All right, so keep them coming, by the way. The Schmoebot is on. Keeps the lights on over here. Streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown and streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Get your questions in. We're taking questions from you guys with any other topics going on in the news that you want us to talk about in the world of pop culture news and things of that nature. Let us know if there's Schmoedown questions, whatever it is. You guys dictate the conversation. You guys make sure that when you put some stuff in there and you talk about it on Streamlabs, we address it. So, Ben, what's next?
Garth McMurray. With Thrawn back in official canon thanks to Rebels, I would like if they did a live-action TV series based on the Thrawn trilogy by Timothy Zahn. If they did, who would you cast as Thrawn and others? Should they try to work in Mara Jade or leave her out?
Well, which trilogy are you talking about here, Garth? Because there's 2 trilogies. There's the non-canon trilogy. That's the original Zahn ones that has Mara Jade in it, and then there's the new ones that he did with and Mara Jade is not in those trilogies. So
Kristian, who's Thrawn? I know who our Thrawn is.
Well, that's basically he Thrawn got that character from this Thrawn. So Thrawn was a character that was created by Timothy Zahn in the novels.
Zahn makes Thrawn.
And he does. After Return of the Jedi came out, there was no materials for Star Wars at all. So this trilogy came out of books that Timothy Zahn put out, and it was to Star Wars fans. their Star Wars. It was the next thing. It was like I think maybe 3 or 4 years after Return of the Jedi, and there was a lot going on in this new character of Thrawn, he was a admiral who was basically while everything was happening during Return of the Jedi, he was off doing other adventures for the Emperor, and when he came back, everything was shit. But he kind of took over as the main villain. So because of that time period and the way that things were kind of retconned after like Force Awakens and everything too, there was. For the new canon, he wasn't around. That wasn't something that was ever created. It was essentially retcon. So Filoni brought him back in Rebels. So basically brought him back even earlier than when he originally debuted in these novels. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So anyway, so now he's back in official canon, but the novels that I just told you about that introduced him, they couldn't do because those events didn't happen anymore. It's a different timeline. So, I was impressed with that impression. That explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
what about the
good.
dream casting element of it?
The dream casting.
Ben Foster for me.
For Thrawn?
Yeah, he's got that cold.
I would say Fassbender.
What, you don't like that?
Yeah.
No. Just when you're done, I have a thing about dream casting. That's hilarious.
Fassbender, or
I feel like Fassbender is the name these days.
He is, but for that, I think or Cumberbatch was another name that happens a lot. But I think who would have been great and was what's his face that was in Rise of Skywalker. Richard, help me out.
Dominic.
No, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about. The new British officer, Richard from.
Richard E. Grant.
Thank you.
Can you ever forgive me?
Can you ever?
He would have been a great Thrawn.
Yeah, he's got the same face.
Great Thrawn.
Holy crap! Yeah, it's a good point.
So,
how old is Thrawn?
We don't know because he's an alien.
Fassbender.
Well, he's an alien, so he could be. I forget exactly how old he is. He's younger. The comics, or the book, and even the comics explained how he was found and how he got involved with the Empire in the first place. I wouldn't mind seeing a series if they adapted, but it goes back to the same old argument of for me it's take some of these novels and comics that you have and turn them into series because there are perfect example right here. Like,
I'd watch it.
You would watch it.
Yeah,
and you knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
You cannot assume that everybody if you assume enough that not everybody reads it, then you can't assume that it wouldn't hit for people who don't read it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's the stories are good stories. It just, you're not, like you said earlier in this show, you just don't go out of your way to read stuff. It doesn't mean that those stories aren't going to connect to you.
And if it is on TV,
you'll
absolutely will watch it.
And if it was a movie, you would watch it.
If it's a movie, I'd absolutely watch it.
And
I don't think that says necessarily good things about me. That's just the truth. That's just the way it is.
No, but that's you're not in the minority there. That's the majority.
Yeah.
And I think that the hardcore Star Wars fans want to digest. Just want to give me it all. And I think that you can adapt stuff and still make it very fresh and new for those people who read it. So, all right, what's next, man?
We had Winston.
Oh, just real fast. I was just gonna say it was very. I don't know if you saw this story about when you were talking about Dreamcasting. That yesterday a story leaked from the MCU that they were trying to cast She-Hulk and they were looking for an Alison Brie type.
Okay,
it's like, so why wouldn't you just
get Alison Brie?
Is that what it said in the official statement? We're looking for an
Alison Brie type.
I can tell you why. They don't want to spend the money.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but that didn't say that. But to let that
for
leak.
Alison Brie.
Well, it shouldn't have been leaked.
That's the problem.
Sometimes casting people don't fit.
What money are you spending on Alison Brie?
But remember,
she's a TV actress.
But
she's
got a quote though. She's been in enough stuff. Dude, maybe they don't know how the show's going to do, and maybe they also don't know, But look, to Roka's point here, it's a Marvel show.
Yeah,
and they're going to be spending a lot of money on it.
But it doesn't mean that they're not going to cast her. Like, honestly, I have a lot of successful.
Roka, you've hosted the show. Host it for a second.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Bring it on, Roxy.
I have a lot of successful actor friends. Like I do a podcast called Acting Class Weekly with Sean Whalen. Sean Whalen, if you pull up his face, you'd know him. He is a character actor, but he was in a Got Milk commercial years ago where he screams Aaron Burr.
Oh, that guy's funny as hell.
Yeah, he's really great.
He's a great character actor.
So he, after that commercial, all the
SN
time.
Live. I'm back, beaches. Weinstein will hold me down no longer, but prison guys will hold him down. I've missed USEN and saying fuck schlong, fuck sheet, and ... balls.
Haskell.
Shave your balls with Manscaped while on CBD products.
Haskell.
It's not a Tuma #drunk schmoeb.
Calm down, Haskell.
If we see him get prison time, I know 5 to 29 years, but who knows what's actually going to happen.
But we're not even done.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
4 counts in LA.
Yeah, but he's already appealing. We'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm slipping it in while Kristian's gone. He won't let me talk about it. Sneaking it in.
Don't you get me in trouble. No, move
What
on.
I was going to say, though, about Sean... about Sean Whalen
Yeah.
though is that every breakdown audition he was going in for after that was like looking for a Sean Whalen type, and he was like, I'm a Sean Whalen type. I'm available. It's me. And sometimes he booked and sometimes he didn't. So like it doesn't mean just because she's there, they might bring her in and then she might book it or not.
I get it because I've seen enough of those breakdowns where they will be like, we're looking for this, that, and the other. But this is a big of enough thing.
I know
that you could have
call her.
You could have on top of that if they had not just put Allison Brie, because there are other actresses that are at that level that are like her. If you list a couple of them, it doesn't look like you just completely ignored Allison Brie.
I don't know if I'm crazy, Ben. Maybe you correct me. I don't think she's the right choice here. We've seen her play this role a million times. But the nerdy girl who has to find her inner power to find her, like we've seen it. We saw it through Glow. We saw it through a bunch of her independent films. Saw it through Community.
What independent films are you talking about?
Oh, she's done a bunch of independent on Netflix.
No, I'm saying where that was I just missed
her most recent
Slap the Carp, I think it was called.
Oh.
Her most recent Netflix one, she's doing the same thing.
I guess I missed it.
Yeah, it's a time jumping one. It's pretty badass.
Horse Girl.
Good film. Horse Girl.
Yeah,
Good film.
Let's jump in
Horse
time and
Girl?
get to the next question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bummer.
All right,
Exactly.
what do you got?
Movies on TV had the Schmoebot.
Yes.
Look where my fucking feet are. Look where my fucking feet are.
I can't see.
Go ahead, Ben.
I had to move him here because there's so many goddamn belts under the table.
What can I tell you?
see what I
Fast
go
like
through?
exchange.
Yeah, I don't think that
understand
she
now.
would ever be
Ben,
okay on the Rock
Ben, I'm so
This would not
sorry.
work.
All three of them talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Isn't
Still have
it
headphones on,
isn't it
that's right.
incredible?
Oh, I wanted to say, Ben, the floor is yours. I'm really sorry, but I can't fucking ignore that comment because that's a ludicrous
What did he
statement and
say?
don't come
Hey
from me.
all.
Wait.
I had
Manager
to
battle.
out of the show yesterday because they thought my work had a gas leak and the whole building got evacuated.
Uh-oh.
Turns out it was my desk mate who put a stink bomb in the
Oh, my
office and
goodness.
she just got fired.
No.
Don't be an idiot at work, kids.
I do think.
Oh wait, I was waiting for like a
Yeah,
meeting
no,
of
no, no,
podcast.
no.
So
That
was
like
I. That
shit
was
happened.
real. See, we
I
knew
think
this
she
would
probably
happen.
should get fired. You don't do that.
I can tell you what I did. There was a place that I worked, and there was a place that I worked, and our next door neighbors were bad people, and they. I'm going to say 95% pretty sure that they stole a bunch of stuff.
Expensive equipment.
Oh, you know the place I worked?
Yeah, I think so.
So this place that I worked, we then moved. So while we were moving, I was with a friend of mine, and he said to me, "Look what you got." And I said, "What's that?" He goes, "Look." So I looked, and it was a box of those liquid stink bombs. So I would be lying if I said I didn't walk back over to the bathroom of the place I used to work and drop 3 of them in the hallway.
Jesus.
And and then we kept. And then when I told the people that I was there, they were proud of me
Yeah.
because those people were bad people.
They were bad people.
They were
and we
awful.
knew they were bad people from the beginning.
Yeah, they were.
Yo, real talk, RB3, your phone, whenever we're going off, it's always perfect timing.
I know,
He
it
was
was-
like, I dropped 3 stink bombs in a hallway. Bah, bah, bah.
Do you have that ringtone for every call?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Got to.
All right, let's go. Ben, hit us with some.
JEOH2. As a black man from North Carolina, I've been to ATL 1,000 times. Always called it Black Gotham. In Houston now, looking forward to y'all's potential return. Few movie, TV fights, vets on the table. What was your favorite argument debate, i.e. Nightfalls?
That was my favorite one.
Black
Nightfall.
Gotham.
Oh,
I was not coming for you. It was literally a joke because y'all were arguing over him.
Stay
kicking
on
you.
tap.
Stay on target. Stay
Answer
on
the question.
target.
Answer the
please,
question.
I'm begging you.
I'm a little confused with the question. What was my favorite TV fights or movie fights?
Yeah, TV fight or movie that you were ever
Yes.
a part of.
Well, I hosted the show.
Yeah. So was there an argument that you? Well, maybe one that you
well,
saw.
I just
You want to bring that up again?
it almost destroyed John and my friendship.
Yeah.
Oh, no, a certain somebody almost destroyed our friendship.
My favorite. I mean, I did one time. I did battle against Spenny G. He did Seinfeld. I did Friends, and I won. That was a really big one for me.
Okay.
But there were so many really great ones.
I don't have an answer. I've never.
You
actually
never
seen
did
it
that one.
before,
Okay. Yeah. Night Falls to me was probably the best one. for
Nancy's
sure.
my answer, always.
Yeah. Well, that started the feud.
Yeah,
didn't it?
exactly.
I was on
Yeah.
the fan cam for the Kevin Smith movie fights. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty
Me and
awesome.
Alicia Malone got to talk, and she's like the nicest person ever.
Oh,
She
that's
is.
awesome.
She's amazing. Does anybody? Where is she? Is she
Oh, man.
TCA.
Doing
Yeah, I know
things
I know she's
bigger.
doing that, of course. But has anybody seen her recently? I just haven't seen her in a while. I text her.
No, in person I hadn't seen her.
Yeah.
She was supposed to call. We'd gotten very close to her being on the table table for when the Shire Wolves played up against Brienne and Brian for the titles because she wanted to be on the table the first time. We were going to have a woman champion no matter what for the first time, and she wanted to be on the table for
That'd
it.
been cool.
And she's like
one of my legitimate favorite human beings.
Yeah, we used to do the show with her all the time.
Yeah. Where I love her. She's amazing.
I interviewed her on Deep Cut like 3 months ago. It was the only show she could do at Collider. Because it was not a rival show for TCM. Oh, wow. So she got approved. So I got her for an hour. She's great.
She's great.
Fell back in love with that person as a human being.
She's great.
She's so great.
The best.
Z Jones. Hello, SEN crew. Kristian, did you ever get around to viewing Watchmen? Roxy, have you watched High Fidelity on Hulu? It's probably Zoe Kravitz's best work.
All right, we'll start with Watchmen. No, but like I said, it's like a pitching. I feel like a Hollywood, like I'm pitching to a Hollywood executive every time I try to watch a show in my house to my wife. She's just like, all right, here's this one. She's like, nah, the first I like that. She's like, but you like this one. You like the first one. Let's watch the second one. She's like, yeah, I'm just not in the mood for it. But I got her to watch. We're 4 episodes into Hunters.
Are you liking it?
I like it, man.
Okay,
I dig
I'll watch it.
I dig
That's
it.
what you picked?
Yeah, I dig it. You don't like it?
No, it's just I wouldn't think that'd be the show that you would.
Because we tried it together for the first one. I said, let's watch this first episode. See what we like. She liked the first episode. There's some choices that are made that I think that they're trying a little too hard to over stylize. But I really like what's going on, and I like how subtle Pacino is in it. Like I'm waiting for the yelling scene. It's coming soon, but I'm like you gotta get them. Where are they? We don't know. They could be anywhere.
Wait, you got to do him with the accent. He has the accent on the whole show.
I can't do that. I can't do that because he.
Neither can he.
No. I think his accent's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, it's like an old Brooklyn Jewish guy.
That drives me nuts.
All right.
All
right, let's. So go ahead. So and Roxy.
So right now my order is finishing binging Pose, then I'm finishing Sex Education, then High Fidelity. So I haven't started yet. It is on my list, but I've noticed that when I try to take on too many at once, then characters start to kind of. So Pose, I've got 1 episode left in season 2. Then Sex Education, I've got to finish the first season, and then High Fidelity.
You watch so much stuff.
Well, this is why I have 2 TVs, man. Yeah. Because we don't agree, so I'll go watch in the second room.
Yeah, I know.
She watches something else.
See, now that
because she loves British television so much.
The reason why you'll be able to do that for a while is because you've decided you don't want to have kids.
We don't.
See, so you'll be able to do that for a while.
You both decided that.
Yeah.
When did that
Shameless
decision
plug
happen?
incoming. Can I get Al Pacino and the Outlaw telling everyone to tune into my Star Wars stream tonight? The name of the show is Going Rogue, and it's every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Nice.
Keep up the amazing work, everyone.
Rogue, you got a big match for your guy in Atlanta. But I got something to watch on the plane. I don't know what. I got to figure it out. I got to listen to something. I'm thinking about Star Wars. Talking about Star Wars. What do I listen to? Where do I go?
Let me tell you something. You talk about this big match in Atlanta. You talk about a faction mate, Dan Murrell. You talk about a faction mate, Ben Bay. You talk about manager Tom Finstock. Let me tell you about someone else who's in my faction. That's Andrew DiMolanta. He is going to be a Star Wars star. He is going to be wearing that belt by the end.
And he's going rogue.
And he's going rogue with his new podcast, live stream. You got to listen to it. That's what you do on the plane. Stop wasting time, Al, while you work on that accent.
Listen to Going Rogue. Don't go anywhere except to DiMolanta. Listen, wonder, why? Why are you listening to Star Trek when you could be listening to Star Wars with the guy?
Well said.
There we go. All right. What's
Only
next?
part that I don't agree with is the belt part, but I'm with the rest of it.
Anthony Nugent sending the Schmoebot.
Thank you.
Hotel Nerd sending his Schmoebot.
Thank you.
Bobby Fedora. JD Dillard presented at my class today, and he said he can't talk about Star Wars at all. But I asked him about stepping into franchises, and he said that he focuses on making stories he would wanted to tell either way, and then dressing them with the IP after.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. Look, you're always going to get that answer. You're allowed to talk about it when you're allowed to talk about it. So, that's the other thing, though. I still think they should be hesitant about it now, because I guess this was leaked, right? Because this wasn't announced,
right?
Because you never know if it's going to eventually happen or if they're going to have creative differences. After what Bonnie did to that thing, I don't know if you want to touch that.
What'd she do?
She had intercourse with it.
She fucked
This
that
is what I'm
doll.
just realizing, though. Do you know what this is?
It's a penis.
A microphone.
No, do you know what it is?
A microphone.
Do you know what it is?
A microphone.
it's being a microphone. Do you know
Yes.
what this actual thing is?
what?
It's an eyeshadow brush.
Oh.
This is a thing that you put your eyeshadow. It comes in like all those CVS little cases. I'm just looking at it. That was clever.
Oh,
You
okay.
don't want to end up with that. In your
I would
eye.
have I would
not-
have sex with the doll that Bonnie had sex with.
Really? That's the same
So-
thing Kate says.
Really? Yeah.
The clip. I mean, you talk about. I thought Kate's comment was going to get everybody going crazy. Bonnie follows it up with a 1-2 punch. Now the audience is
What'd
going
she
nuts.
say?
But
Do you have the clip? No, you don't. You're gonna have to
RB3.
play-
Oh no.
Hotel Nerd with the
Find the
Schmoebot.
clip and then we'll play it after he finds it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hotel Nerd with the Schmoebot, Jay Goldeneyes, and Roxy Striar, the best, and Anthony Nugent, all with Schmoebots. Thank you so much, y'all. Brendan Truitt. Hi, gang. Love the group today. I just found out my dad has to have a double bypass next week, and I'm freaking out. But have to stay strong around my parents. Thank you for helping me get through my head for a few hours each day. You all rock.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. He was worried about there's going to be a meaning of.
Yeah,
plug.
I've fallen in too many holes.
Yeah, but
lately.
that one you got.
I don't know
yeah.
if we like should cheer and like applause for that though. I feel awful for this person.
No, but it's
Well,
because
as far as staying strong.
Staying
That's
strong.
what-
That's
that's
what
what
yeah,
we're
yeah,
applauding
okay.
for. Yeah,
You
yeah.
were like, oh, yay, it's not a fake thing, which I get. That would
Yeah,
be a bad
yeah, I
fake
clapped
thing.
this, yeah.
But
'Cause I wanna give real
I'm
emotion.
thinking
Of
about
course.
you, and it fucking sucks
Yeah.
when you have a parent that's sick.
Yes.
True.
Did we get the Kevin Smetch Schmoebot about Roka and Star
Yes,
Wars?
we got that.
Yeah, we did.
Got it? Okay.
And he texted me.
D. Doug.
D-Doug, did you hear Roka entered a circular contest? Unfortunately, the competition was pretty steep, so he ended up coming in the 4th round.
Who went down?
That
was good.
amazing.
Kimberly Tucker.
Go ahead.
Roxy, I just want to say
Wow.
that
Schmoebots, by the way, are crushing today.
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
I just want to say that our Schmoedown competitor, I would want you as a manager. I love how passionate and attentive you are. You rock.
Thanks, Kimberly. I appreciate that.
Well, you know what's funny? You know what a lot of people have been telling me is that, and this is a credit to you and to Roka and to Ben. The backstage show has been getting a lot of people into Schmoedown.
Good.
Because a lot of people have been tuning in to the show to see kind of what it was about and learning about the actual competitors and how passionate they are about it, the managers for sure. And can I reveal something that we talked about last night? And I'll do it in a way like in the email that you sent.
yeah.
So Roxy sent
Yeah.
me a great email last night, and so Roxy's valid concern that she had was she was asked if managers, not just herself, could be featured on posters for upcoming matches.
Don't talk about my ego. Okay, go ahead.
It's just she's and again I'm clarifying. This.
I
She
do
said-
hear what you're saying.
She said managers. And a lot of her ideas behind it wasn't just it was marketing. It was ideas of, quite honestly, being a personality and trying to sell tickets. To which I said, what I would rather do, and I think that I'm going to do this in general, whether it's Roxy or whoever, I would like to have a similar poster, like and I told her on this thing last night, I can't overcrowd the poster. Like when you have the big poster that we had, you can't just put like Danino and Roxy like randomly in there. It'll look sloppy, and it looks like overcrowded. However, because the factions are so big this year, and because the rock stars are such a big group, and so are the Exchange, that there should be a similar poster that just has Roxy versus Dagnino, rock stars versus the Exchange, with the names Damon versus and Merle versus and all that. Can you guys turn your mic off? So and then like all that like
Yeah, so I do hear what you're saying, and I get it. And most of the times I'm going to fight a fight, it's going to be for my players. But at this point, I am investing so much time into this league. I mean, even managing my players' schedules is like
it's a job.
It's a job.
I'm checking in with my players every single
A badass
day.
donation for a badass crew. Hey RB3,
thank you,
it's
Hotel
not
Nerd.
disrespectful, it's respectful. Question for all, what was the worst hotel experience you had and what was the best? I'm trying to help you, motherfucker.
So finish your thought, and we'll go back to the hotel.
So I've said this many times before. This is like my fantasy football. I love being here, and I will continue to be here as long as you guys will have me because I love it. But we're going to these massive things, and every time I tweet out, first of all, the people don't. When I put out a picture and my face isn't on it, they don't care. They're not going to come to an
'Cause they don't
event.
know if you're
They
gonna
don't
be
know
there or
that I'm
not.
going to be
Yeah.
there. So for promotion wise, I want to be able to help,
Sure.
especially like when we eventually are going to Boston. You know, if I'm sending this out to all my family and friends, I want to be on the poster.
Right.
And then also, just as a businesswoman, it would be moronic for me to say that this isn't a huge opportunity to be on the poster.
Right.
And even though the players are putting in the most work, the managers, and Winston, you can probably agree, are putting in so much work this year. So I think that we've earned it.
And I think we came up with a nice compromise.
Yeah,
Because
I think that's. And I was really grateful that you.
it just made sense because it made sense to me. There was the first thing I knew didn't make sense to put everyone on there because for two reasons. One, the first thing is the focus should be on Dan and Ben.
Absolutely.
And the second part of that is that if you're just bottom of the corner with the undercard, it's like, and there's Roxy and Dagnino, as opposed to a full-on rock stars versus.
Right. I didn't even think about making a second one, but when
Yeah.
you suggested it, I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah, Brian Ward doesn't like us now, but
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that sucks, and I'm sorry, but and maybe you think I am egotistical.
No, I'm pushing back because people have been accusing me of being egotistical because of this
everybody,
whole
every one of you,
situation.
managers, you all have egos. That's why you're in. That's why you're in.
Yeah, but I've never asked to be on a poster.
Just to
right?
be clear-
I've never asked to be on a poster. I'm
Have
on
you
a
ever
poster,
not been on the
but
poster?
I know that's what I'm saying.
You don't
never
need,
asked.
you need to. You don't need to.
Right,
John,
fair,
if
fair.
you weren't on the poster,
but I just
you
don't
wouldn't
like
ask-
people calling me.
If you were going to be performing in an event and you were not on the poster, you wouldn't say anything.
I trust him. I always trust him to
And,
promote it.
John,
and
that-
because of that, I love you to death, and you are the Hulk Hogan of this league. There's no doubt about
Right,
it. As far as what you did, you got maybe the biggest ego out of anybody in this.
Yeah,
league.
come
It's
on.
why- it's
Bigger
Come
than
on.
Ben?
Yes.
No. There's no one bigger
Much-
than
much
and it's
bigger.
why.
Oh, you're
and
saying
it's
that-
why. And it's
no,
why
I'm
you.
not, John. I love that about you.
Yes, me
And
too.
I've said it the whole time.
Me too.
I love your ego in this game. I have an ego as well. I love your ego in this game, and I don't think you should lose it.
You can't fight against this.
I'm confused about this.
But let's keep this for backstage.
Okay.
Because
'Cause I want the definition of what ego
I
means.
got to move on.
'Cause I think
All
ego
right,
means
let's go to the
arrogance.
next one.
I don't have
Just to hear Ben say this. Go ahead, Ben. Are you done?
We've got Tongue Punch the Fart Box
There
is
you go.
back.
Yes.
Hey, gang, I need
Yes.
advice. Got to fire an employee today for insubordination. I just got promoted. This is one of my first big tasks. I know their situation. I wish they would have listened when I told them to subscribe to the Meaning of Podcast. He is son of a bitch.
That was good. Before you move on, we did get that question really from Hotel Nerd. That really wonderful donation about the best hotel is best and worst hotel stay. Best is that I ever had was when I went to Caesar's Palace. There were my brothers. After I left, my brother's friend. After I left Florida State, my brother's friend flew out a bunch of people to Vegas, and my brother's like, "You should meet him out there." So we met him, and his dad was a high roller. We paid for nothing, and it was. I mean, when I tell you, I had the best sushi of my life, and the champagne that was coming out, the drinks that were coming, I was like, ridiculous. I felt like I was living to this day, never had an experience like that. It was like rock star type shit, and it was great. I can't remember. I walk over. These guys are all playing. His dad's friends are all playing craps, which I don't play craps with blackjack.
Fucking best.
It's the best, but I don't play it. I just know that I love it because I sat down and I was like, "Oh yeah, do this," and the guy gave me $500, and I was like, "This is the best trip." So yeah, the worst. I mean, I'd really have to think about that. I mean, just shitty. I don't like being in really small rooms.
Yeah.
If I'm in a really small room, I get claustrophobic, and I hate it. Yeah. I hate being in a really small room where I can't move, and I like my suitcase is like banging up against the fucking door. I hate that shit. You? Best, worst?
I don't care at all where I sleep as long as it's clean.
Oh, all right.
So like that, the worst. I've stayed at some dirty places,
yeah.
and that sucks.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Dirty is bad. Best probably like family vacations growing up. Especially because like memories with my mom and stuff.
Yeah.
Going to Disney and like I remember my favorite thing about hotels is when they had candy in them. Like that was all you needed. If you were a hotel room with candy, I thought that you were like the Ritz-Carlton. So.
Winston?
Best would probably be I did like we called it Marshal Man Time. It was my dad, my older brother, and me.
She'd
and
fix
we
the
got-
frame rate. We're trying to help you, motherfucker.
Something wrong with the frame rate?
He's working on it.
What happened to the frame rate?
Do you want the long answer or?
Yeah, what's the long answer?
Oh, my bad. My camera's out. Yeah, there's just a lot that's going on with the OBS right now. Yeah.
It was weird. I was having that problem this morning in my stream, so it's weird. Maybe it's the Streamlabs itself.
You call it Marshal Manhunter?
Marshal Man Time. That would be hilarious. That DC monitor I see working. But My dad got himself like a suite and got me and my brother our own junior suites, and so that was fucking incredible.
That's awesome.
Because he got a hookup. I think he paid like $500 for the whole weekend for that.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. And then the worst is a tie between me not knowing that the Howard Johnson is a motel. So when someone goes, "Oh, we're going to the Hojo of Scottsdale," I was like, "That sounds fancy as fuck. Like, let's go." And then I get
Damn
there, I'm like,
Russians
"Oh,
first
it's
our elections. Now they messin' with SEN. Time to start the next world war.
So that and yeah. So that's enough. That's fine.
Quick ones.
Well, yeah, Hawaii. When we went for Jumanji, when you sent me for Jumanji,
yeah.
that was a great hotel.
Oh,
that was
good.
an incredible room. And the worst is Indianapolis. I went to a wedding in Indianapolis for a Holiday Inn. Oh my god!
All right, I'll get to.
The sheets are made of sandpaper.
I know Ben's
Oh, that
working on stuff,
sucks,
so I'll
dude.
do. You got it? Try it down? Go ahead.
Tongue Punch Fart Box is back.
Oh, no,
I
the
just
same
wanted
one.
to.
Wasn't it?
No,
Go
you
ahead,
got two in a
You're
row.
right. You're right.
I
Sorry.
just, yeah, he earned it.
All right, you're right.
I just want to let Roxy know that Belichick would not approve of her manager coaching style.
She's not cheating.
That's not true.
But you're not cheating.
Belichick would actually really appreciate my style.
Oh, why are you cheating too?
No, I'm in it for the long haul.
Oh,
And
True.
I think
All right.
he would appreciate that.
all right. Next one then.
Chi-Town Schmoedown fan. 2 question. When is the Schmoedown coming to Chicago again? Was there last year for celebration and it was awesome. Speaking of Star Wars, you gonna take all that smack talk from the Smasher Roka? Love you, Outlaw, but my money is on Smets.
Yeah, feel free.
Well, I think that you're a lunatic for playing that guy in anything that's not regular trivia.
Please, it's all bluster.
Yeah,
It's all smoke and mirrors.
It's not. And as far as Chicago, aiming for June. Aiming for June on that one. So there's, and like I said, when I say aiming, it means that nothing is locked because
Are you going to talk about this?
Not yet.
Okay.
Because I don't. Well, all I can say to talk to Roxy about it is like there's an issue with Boston right now. Like we're trying to lock down Boston. We haven't been able to do it. It just has not worked. So
We're a very popular city.
yeah. Now JP, who is the most brilliant live events person in general. Like he's a magician and he's my boy and he's the best at the live events and he's working He's booking like 3 or 4 different theaters for us, and he's doing things, and he's working on Boston. But there's a possibility. I had the conversation with him today that if we don't, he's trying, and if we don't lock Boston in May, we might move Boston to September.
Which, by the way, is a beautiful month to be in Boston.
Yeah. So we're trying, and
Both
again,
are.
that's still aiming for both. So all right, let's see. Next one is
Sir Lord Attenborough.
Yeah.
Hey guys, can't wait to watch live today, but we'll catch the show on the train home. What shows are you watching right now? I'm debating whether or not to jump into Hunters or The Outsider. Winston, have you seen the trailer for the new Samurai Jack video game?
I have. It looks amazing.
Does it look
Does
good?
it look good?
Okay, that was good. Okay, well, as far as Hunters goes, I heard Outsiders great.
I heard it's amazing.
I just haven't seen it yet, but I would, I liked Hunters. I like the Hunters so far. I'm gonna finish it for sure. But I definitely want to dive into Outsiders. Outsiders.
I agree on those things.
Yeah.
Very quickly, speaking of trailers, did you guys see the Candyman teaser?
No, is it any good?
I was just, it doesn't say much. You'll see.
Okay.
Trailer drops Thursday.
Yeah,
All right,
it was
so we'll wait
just
for
a
it.
teaser of 5 different characters saying Candyman.
Yeah. No. All right,
Yeah.
fine. Next one.
Jeremiah.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeremiah Morris, I have a question for Winston. How will you deal with the inter-faction turmoil when Oyama is double belted with the singles and teams belt?
Like an adult.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Like
Jake-
an adult. Wait, you mean you're going to talk to him? You're going to communicate?
Yeah.
You're going
Wow.
to use your words?
But I like that. I
Like
mean,
a human being?
Jeremiah Moritz is a big Oyama mark. I can tell you that.
Well.
So that's
See what happens, Jeremiah.
Same.
yeah.
Jake Yacovetta,
Yeah.
I would love to hear Finstock as the president of Independence Day.
All right.
We will not go
I'll
quietly.
do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. All right, look. We're not gonna go quietly into the night. We're not gonna like vanish without a fight. We're gonna live on. We're gonna survive. Today, we're gonna subscribe to the meaning of podcast.
We're all dead. We're all dead.
We're all
By the
dead.
time he finishes his
Everyone just
speech,
walks away.
When did he start talking like that? Always, you think?
look, I've known this guy for a long time. It takes him 5 minutes to say 5 minutes.
Kristian, can you do him asking his mom for some milk and cookies?
Oh, when he's younger? Hey, Mom. was thinking. I'm hungry. You think you can get me some milk and cookies? Because I need some milk. I need some cookies.
House Groove 76. One of two. I don't see. Oh, there it is. Okay. Was catching up on some old shows replaying in the background while I was working. Kate talking about sucking balls had me cracking up. Suddenly I heard, "That's gross." I turned around and my 9-year-old was standing there.
Oh!
He said, "Isn't that where the pee-pee is at?" Oh! Why would someone lick there?
Oh,
I didn't
boy.
know what to say. I
Oh, my
thought
God.
of how you might explain it, so I said, "Listen to the meaning of podcast."
Did you find the clip, or are you dealing with too much right now? You're dealing with too much.
Dealing with a lot
All
right
right,
now.
don't worry.
I believe in
Giancarlo
you.
G.
Thank
Jr.
you.
Yes.
There was a guest who called after we closed. She said, angrily, "Why is it dark inside? Do you not open on Mondays?" I responded with, "No, we closed an hour ago." She got aggressive and asked why, to which I said, "So I could listen to the meaning of podcast." See that guy over there. Hello, SEN. We got a Candyman poster. The trailer is dropping Thursday. Well, there it is.
Very excited about that. Yeah.
There you go.
Funky Cold Medina and Haskell 420 with the Schmoebots. House Groove 76. Oh, that was his second part. Anthony Colston. Since it costs more for impressions, would you ever be interested in introducing a $50 call-in question tier? The phone calls were my favorite part of Collider Live.
Yeah, we can do that. And RB3's told me that we could do call-in. So we might start to do the maybe if it's like the $50 call-in or something, you get the number. We're thinking about that and trying to move some stuff around, especially if we can. I don't know. There's a lot of things that we're working on to try to do it. So.
100.
I don't know about that. But Sir Lord Nabro, he's up the next one, right?
Yep, Sir Lord Attenborough. Roxy, can I get your thoughts on the upcoming IG match in Hotlanta? Is Damon ready to rumble, and when is Rocco joining your faction? Love you guys.
Jesus.
Both great questions. My thoughts, I've been so steady the entire time. I mean, I don't think a 1% chance that he doesn't take this.
Wow.
Seriously. And that's just not me being cocky. That honestly, from watching her matches, to knowing his tactic, to the study sessions,
You think it's gonna be too much for her?
it's not that. I don't. It's nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
I
just think he's that good.
Yes. It has nothing to do with her.
So are we looking at okay, there's a great debut, or do you think he legit you could see him neck and neck with Smets eventually?
The latter.
Get out of
The
here.
latter.
You think he could play Smets?
I don't think today he could play Smets.
But if he keeps working.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Look,
I think we're looking at
Smets was okay when he auditioned.
I
Now
think
look
we're
at him.
looking at this is going to be the start of a road.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a massive block there, and his name is Chandru.
Well, there's an even bigger block, and it's Emily Rose Jacobson. Please, someone clip this out and tweet it to Emily Rose and show that she watched her matches and doesn't think she can do the job. Somebody clip it out and send it to Emily.
Well, you know what
Emily
I like? I
can
do
the job.
I watched
She improved
I
so
watched
much.
a little
I
bit.
agree. She improved.
Well, no, but I watched a little of Emily Rose Jacobson on the Finstock Exchange podcast that they do, right? And there's a bunch of fans that have a Finstock Exchange podcast. They're not those, not them. They don't sit there on that. No, it's fans.
There's all 10 of us get together.
Can't communicate, but do a podcast.
But what she said was that she was in communication with the guys, and that she's gonna the fact that you're gonna remember, she doesn't have her support system in Adam there. So her support system, she's got most of the Finstock Exchange there.
We're all
and it's
gonna
like
be
Riley,
behind
they're
her.
all gonna be there. So
she
they're
does,
gonna
but
meet.
that helps a little.
It helps, but I'm saying on like Friday when they're there and they're like, they'll be able to talk to her and get her like prepped. Like that's.
Where do you think that he lives?
I know. I'm just saying. I know you're gonna be able to too. I'm just saying, but that's one.
I'm
of two
just
people.
saying he's got a whole.
Are they in his faction? They understand the game very well.
No, I'm just saying he's
talking
got a
about-
whole support system.
But I'm talking about the fact that these are champions. These are people that she's going there
I
to.
hope she plays really well.
Yeah.
I hope she does, and I hope that we win anyway. I hope she plays really
You
well.
said there's not even a 1% chance.
I do not think so.
But a manager should say that. All right.
I
well,
do not think so.
What's next?
Roxy hates women.
Somebody tell.
Yeah, that is the other point
somebody
that I
tell-
really do.
Fucking say it, you fucking monster. Don't you fucking say it. I knew it was coming.
What, the 1%?
That fucking thought was formulated in his head.
Kate,
Son of a
Kate said
bitch.
that she thought RB3 was going to win.
On a podcast for posterity.
Shown
At
up.
the end of it.
Roka, last week you were talking about wrestlers being actors. I would call them more stunt people than actors. And you keep saying that wrestlers win championships. Come on. They're given championships. To win something, there must be an actual competition.
There it is. Who's this guy's name?
Shown up.
Shown up. You shown up stupid. Let me tell you something right now.
It was Josh
The
McCouga.
actors act. These guys become actors. They're training to be actors. WWE, a few years ago, hired acting coaches for all these people because they knew their skits were the ones that were the things that were bringing people into the tent. It wasn't just the wrestling. Yes, they're handed those belts, absolutely, but you have to earn it by being over with the audience. How do you get over with the audience? Cutting awesome promos, and then they give you wins in those
I don't even
matches
think
and
that-
being a great character.
John,
That's important.
This isn't worth your response because
no,
that's somebody who doesn't get
understand
Yeah,
it.
there's
Right,
nothing you
right.
can. I mean, that the lack of understanding to say something
Yeah.
like that is like so.
Yeah, but I hear like you mentioned McCouga, like someone said McCouga.
I
McCouga
did.
did the same
Yeah, I
thing,
know.
and so it frustrated
I
the hell
know.
out of me.
Me too. It frustrates me too.
Yeah,
It's
McCouga, but
ridiculous.
McCouga liked to get a rise out of people about it
Yeah,
too, because
Lord
McCouga,
doesn't.
McCouga sometimes, like when it came to that, like Ellis was another one. Like, they just never would even try to understand what it was.
Right.
It's a television show.
It is.
Of course, it's a television show.
That
And the-
doesn't
why
take a
is
day
it-
off.
And the other
or a
reason
week
why
off.
is people, they're not giving it. You have to earn your spot in the company. You have to earn it through entertainment. You have to be entertainers. You have to be able to be a good athlete. You have to be able to put on the show. You have to be able to be able to trade back and forth inside of that ring. And you have to be, you're basically, if you are showing that you can be a top dog, yeah,
Well, speaking of which, what's this?
that's me.
Yeah.
You can do this on the air?
Well, I'm just curious. You
Yeah.
posted it on your public Instagram.
Yeah, I had lunch with a friend.
Yeah.
My friend too.
Your friend too. We talked about you.
Why are you on your phone?
Exactly.
To pull that up.
Yes.
But why?
But also,
Because we're talking about WWE, and
Yeah,
she
just
left the
Kat-
WWE.
so
You also have to
I always
manage-
say, I'll say that Kathy Kelly and I sat down yesterday and we just talked
It
about
was actually more relevant than it seemed.
It was.
now,
I know.
right?
I was just like, thought you were just pulling your phone.
Kathy,
out.
Kathy Kelly has been a friend of mine for 7 years.
True.
Another one-on-one interview that I did.
Yeah.
We sat down. She did leave the WWE. We sat down. We had a lot of great conversations about a great many things.
How did it go?
Good. All right, next.
I texted him. I texted him. I said,
Andrew
I'm friend 14.
Giambalanta with his Star Wars Schmoebot.
Yep.
Go watch the show tonight. Silly Buffoon.
Hello.
Schmoedown last week. The schedule said the Family vs. Corruption was airing this week, and now it's become a throwdown for next week. Not a complaint, but I wonder if the match was taped already. Then why is it a live stream if that's the case?
Was not the case. Next.
Yep.
It's a live match.
It was not the case. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. So basically, what happened to be
What
completely
was
to be basically what he was thinking was that if we, because we're not doing throwdowns are not premier events. That's a different thing. Live events are live events or live streams. What happened was totally upfront. We were going to record that match. Andrew,
Which match?
The Corruption versus the Family.
Right.
Andrew got sick. Couldn't shoot it, so we had to. It was the hardest match to schedule. So we then did some talking. We said, "All right, let's do a live stream." So we're doing a throwdown on the 7th.
Kalinowski was not happy.
On the 7th.
Yeah,
But
Have you scheduled? Okay.
I haven't scheduled the rest of the matches
Okay,
yet.
okay.
I'm going to do that today. Don't worry.
Roka, this next one is
Oh, no.
for you.
Oh, no.
Nadia Bethea. As a black woman who lived in Atlanta all her life, no one that lives in Atlanta calls it Hot Atlanta, let alone Black Atlanta. Please stop. See you on Saturday.
you know what I like? You know what I
Please
like? That
stop.
she's talked to every single person who's lived in Atlanta. Congratulations. That must have taken
John,
you
John,
all
we got
day.
we got to debt this, bro. We got to debt.
We got
this.
what?
You might want to
It's
let
over.
that one go. bro. Like,
It's ain't the 40s anymore. John.
Let it go. You're digging a hole and jumping right in it.
I don't give a shit.
Seriousness. So, are you saying that then black people can make comments about the Latino community?
What do you mean? I'm not making a comment about the black community.
No, I mean,
I
like,
served with black people in the military, and they called it black.
Oh, thank you so much for having talked to all the black people in Atlanta.
No,
that
but
call
I'm not
it
saying,
black
I never said black people called it black Atlanta.
The good news is
all en masse.
the good news is that it's 11:40 next.
That is the good news.
Yes.
Hotel Nerd sent in the very generous Schmoebot. Ramon Fritz, for those who weren't on yesterday, my mom is engaged nearly 3 years after my dad passed away. I'm really struggling with my depression and anxiety, but you all, along with my amazing girlfriend, have really been getting me through it. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
I think that.
What's it?
Just I don't know whether they're saying that they're engaged and that's hurting the depression or the engagement is helping, but I would try to look at the fact that it's probably very challenging for your parents as well, and you want them to find happiness, and even if that is kind of a struggle for many different reasons, it probably is something that you can try to make lemonade out of lemons with.
What do you got next?
Spam Risk.
Oh,
Hello,
Spam
Kristian. This is Spam Risk.
Hi.
I'm a buddy of Frauds.
Oh, man.
We've been trying to reach you for the past few months. We just want to let you know to subscribe to the Meeting Up podcast. Fraud and I both have money on Bateman in Atlanta, by the way. Hashtag Action Army.
So speaking of which, I'm very excited. We have a cool promo hopefully coming out today. And what we were able to do was gather a bunch of competitors and managers to predict what's going to happen on Friday.
Ooh, nice.
Who's in it?
I don't want to tell you yet. And we're going to promote it, and we're going to put it out there, and it's going to be it's you to see the predictions of who. Very interesting that the takes of who they think most people were going to win. Like, let me ask the chat right now because I want to see the chat light up. One word, either Roca. It's not. No, definitely not Roca.
No.
Either.
A few weeks back, I donated saying thank you for laughter while sis-in-law has brain cancer. She is nearing her end.
Oh.
Sorry for grinding halt. I have no shame left when it comes to helping my brother and nephew survive after.
Man.
Can I post GoFundMe FB group?
Yeah, go to the Facebook group for sure. Go absolutely, Nate.
Fucking
Thank
brain
you.
cancer.
Yeah, awful. That's terrible, and I'm sorry for that. And it's one of those things, and I'm also glad that people feel like they can share that with us.
Yeah,
it's a nice thing to just think. But let's okay. So people, Dan or Ben, Dan or Ben, go ahead and put either Dan or Ben. Right now, Dan is lighting up it's Dan lighting up the chat room.
Kristian, you say Dan, right?
I go back and forth.
I know you go back and
I
forth,
had
but
Bateman
today.
at one point. Today I say Dan. I had Bateman.
Winston?
Ben.
Well, you know he's.
Obviously.
Oh no! I was like, I know. You know what he's going to say, and it's like, oh yeah. Who you got today?
I've gone back and forth too. I've said I've been Bateman in the past, but I'm probably gonna go with
Dan. What do you got, Ben? Where are
Never
you
wavered. It's Dan, 100%. I have no doubt.
It's gonna be crazy. Dan, 4-time champion.
You should be his manager.
I know. Yeah, it's going. It's everywhere.
Maybe I should be my own manager.
So remember, guys. Also, so for all those people, this is definitely one of the most anticipated matches we've ever done.
Hell yeah!
And
This is the most anticipated match
since you've been around.
Honestly, in years, I feel.
Yeah, since him and Dan, I think.
I'm so lucky
I know.
that I'm gonna be there.
So, but by the way, and this is the live stream being available has people really want to see this match, and you can see it. It's the Schmoedownlive.com. You can get your live stream tickets now. Don't wait.
How much is it?
Don't wait.
People have been asking me this.
$4.99. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Less than a Starbucks coffee.
No-brainer.
But the other thing is too. So and for patrons, by the way, and this is a reason why I didn't. And I kind of buried the lead with the throwdown. So this is going to show you. So the $10 tier, what it does at the Patreon.
Kristian, what's your secret for keeping your cool today? This is the first time we've seen you the week before match where it doesn't look like you want to choke out the rest of the panel on SEN Live.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
I brought this up yesterday.
Before a live event?
The week before a live event, you're an animal because like you've got so much. But I think with Skybound being like kind of there to help, it kind of takes some pressure off and you can relax
have no
a little
idea
bit.
how much more it helps.
See, because all the other stuff you were trying, and then people were like, well, I don't know how much of this.
The
blah,
team
blah, blah.
over there, and I haven't given them their right credit yet, is incredible. Like I have had so much help with live events and tapings and things that are just shit that I don't have to deal with anymore. Like, and having a marketing team and everything too. And I'm being there's cool shit coming that I want.
Like what?
That I can't say yet. But anyway, but going back to what we were talking about before with
posters.
No, I had something else. What I was that I completely wanted to talk. Oh yeah, the throwdown. So as a Patreon, when you're at the $10 Patreon level, you get the live stream. When we are doing the what if matches, you will get those. You get so much access and things that we're going to be doing player commentaries again and other things that you get at the $10 level. But it also is anytime we do a live stream, you get it. So if we do 7 live streams in 1 month, you get all of them for the same price. So what we wanted to do is to show those $10 patrons of like, that we're going to start doing this now. So in March, you get the free for all, which by the way is a 3-hour event for the same for at the $10 level, but you're also now going to get the number 1 contender match with the family, Andrew Guy and McWeeny versus Team Corruption, in Mike Kalinowski and Chance Ellison. Winners play the Founding Fathers.
Is that the only team that has the same name as faction?
Yes.
Because that is starting to confuse
It's
me
called
a little
Team
bit.
Corruption.
Team Corruption.
Yeah, they're Team Corruption.
Who you got on that?
I'll tell you.
Everybody.
I'll tell you. I'm going to go with the family on that one.
Yeah, you think so too, Winston? Yep. What about you, Rox? You think corruption? Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I do.
Is
think
that
corruption.
DC Movie News eyes, or is that like really analysis?
But let me tell you that I don't think it's
It
going
actually has more to do with Chance than it does with Mike.
I think Chance is going to be on fire.
Yeah.
I think Mike's going to be on fire. I think that McWeeney's going to be on fire, and I think this is going to be one of the defining career moments for Guy.
I agree.
That's what I think.
They might be able to take it. It really fully depends on Andrew.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
So if Andrew Guy has a good first round, he's got to have a good first round.
Yeah.
If he scores 6 to 7 points in the first round, the family will win. If he does not, because when Andrew Guy has those bad games where he hits like 4, then usually the team loses. But when he has those moments, 'cause he looked good in that first round against Burnett.
Yeah.
And he can get past. Andrew Guy you look at his team's record. It's great. It's great. He's been to the finals of the tournament twice.
I also think that the big thing that people aren't taking into consideration is Sam. That changes
That's absolutely right.
everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one thing that has been the difference between him in the past and him now is having Sam in his corner. That's
Don't you think same thing though, but in a different way with Shannon?
Yeah, I think Shannon's a different type of player, but manager. But I agree. She's going to get. I don't think it's one of these things where like, oh no, I just don't think corruption's going to be on their game. I think it's going to be a hardcore fight. You think it's going to be a hardcore fight?
Well, can I counter some of this?
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't think it's just all on Andrew. I think there's something to be seen.
Never is it all on
What
one
I'm
player.
saying, Kalinowski has shown a tendency to flame out in first rounds and completely crap matches.
When has he done that? In the teams?
In those inner geekdom matches. Look what he did against.
No. But we're talking about teams.
But
in teams, he has been lights out in teams.
Right, but we don't know as he's coming off this loss.
Right.
I don't know how it's going to affect
Right.
him. And Andrew also coming off that loss, he took it really hard when they
Well,
lost.
he's not coming off a loss anymore. He's
Right.
coming off a win.
Right,
Yeah.
but the Burnett win, whatever, team's
But one.
loss is what I mean. He
Yeah.
came off that team's loss. He took that really, really hard. And I even spoke to him and was like, dude, you did a great job coming back in those second and third rounds. So to me, I think this is a thing on Kalinowski and Andrew. Those are the two X factors for me going into this match. And whoever survives that first round better is going to be the one who wins.
I think this could be any team's day.
Absolutely.
I really do. But I do think that, and trust me, because I talked to him, Kit was legitimately ill. Like, could not show up. Legitimately ill.
Why he couldn't come? Should do a taping.
1,000% ill. But I do think that the extra time might actually make a difference.
You know what I'm excited about, though? I'm excited because either way, whoever wins, we win. Because you either get Corruption versus the Founding Fathers 4, or you get Andrew Guy versus Merle 2.
Yeah.
So either way, we win.
I don't know which one of those I'd prefer.
I know.
I'm trying to think.
That's what I'm saying. It's really well. Part of I think the fans, part of them would want to see Corruption and Founding Fathers because they still own the series. It's still 2-1
right
Corruption.
Now. Yeah, they do.
So in order to tie
I think
the
I'd
series,
rather see the other.
You'd rather you want to see Guy and Merle?
I'd rather see the family versus Founding Fathers. Yeah, because
at a live event, right?
I mean, like
in Boston.
Well, it'll be September.
Not just that would make me that would make me like legitimately mad.
Yeah, I know it would.
If that's what you were headlining Boston with,
no,
I would be legitimately.
No, we're
furious.
too far away. All right, listen. Let's do a couple. We got 10 minutes left. Ben, what do you got?
None of you are from there.
Let a snake lick it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, Roca, did Moses sign your stone table at high school graduation?
No, Moses was an asshole. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, is it supposed to be a tablet?
Yeah, a tablet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You
that guy
would have an
thought.
issue with the Jews.
Yeah.
All right,
that guy thought he was the. He thought
love
he
you
walked
all.
on
Keep
water.
it up, gang.
All right, Nugent.
Anthony Nugent with the Schmoebot, Hotel Nerd with the
I love
Schmoebot.
the
Absent
Jews.
good. ATL almost here, and I can't wait. I can't wait to meet everyone, especially Roca. Also, I approve of Roca saying Black Atlanta. He has enough swag to say it.
First of all,
not
people, if you're
black-
gonna do it's Black Land. If you're gonna fucking do that shit, spell it fucking.
I thought we weren't supposed to.
You're not. But if you're gonna fucking do, then why don't you fucking do it?
Wow. I don't even know who that was, but I like it. All right.
I've been to Atlanta
Nate M
before.
and Lucas J. Shashik with the Schmoebots
Yes,
heading
yes.
over to Super Chats right now.
Oh, wait, there's one more. The Practical Broker actually has a streamlab.
Oh,
I'll do it. Atlanta area native going to be there live on Saturday. And believe me when I say, Rokas, if you say Black Lana anywhere in public when he's in town, I hope you do it when I'm not anywhere near him. Hot Lana will get you laughed at. Black Lana might get you killed. Bring it.
Well-timed shot, RB3.
Bring it.
Are you gonna cut a promo for Dan? Because
I
then,
should cut a promo.
Don't
for
you
Black
dare.
Lana.
because
Don't you
that
dare.
would be
On the
you
stage.
right here.
Black
in
Lana,
Black
film it.
Lana.
All right, we
You'll
have
see Dan sliding out of frame.
yeah. We got 9
Okay.
Dan's gonna go, hey, you know that thing about being traded? Go ahead. We have
Red
a lot
Wolf
to
in
get through
Super
here.
Chat.
Yeah.
Roxy, I laughed so hard when Cody used Kristian sit down while you're standing up during Collider Live 1 episode. Hope you all have a great day. Dustin Dowd. Upside of being homesick is from work is being able to watch live. Can't wait for Saturday night. Hi, Roxy.
Hi.
Nice.
Drew Sefelden. Did you hear about the Zamboni driver who had to enter
Yes.
an NHL game as an emergency backup and still won?
No.
Best story ever.
Yeah.
So what
Blocked
happened?
8 out of 10 shots.
He was 42 years old. The Zamboni driver slid in for the Carolina Hurricanes
allowed
and
to do
won
that?
the game.
Yeah, well, that was their emergency backup.
Yep.
So that's essentially what they did.
Wow.
He was on
It
the
was
roster as
amazing.
emergency backup.
That's crazy.
That is he's the
That's a movie.
Zamboni. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I guarantee you,
That has to be
that'll be a
movie.
movie.
That
in
But
like
it should be
25
a comedy. That should be like Step Brothers.
Well, I mean,
Sandler.
they did Goon, right? And Goon,
Yeah.
Goon was very different, but Goon, I remember when that movie came out, I was like, oh, this is gonna be some goofy comedy. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's an
It's
awesome
one of
movie.
that's my Netflix go-to.
a
It's
great
so
movie.
good.
I never
it's so
saw it.
hard.
Who's
Oh,
in
it's
it?
good.
either.
Sean William Scott.
Oh.
They did two of them.
Oh, he's just
And,
was
uh,
announcing a new show.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah.
Two of them.
Good for him.
Watch
Yeah.
Goon. It's amazing.
Go to the
It's
next
written
one
by
there.
Jay Baruchel,
Paul
too.
Feig show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drew Sefelden just did that. Adopted Asian. Just binged the entire season of Harley Quinn. Truly amazing.
Yeah.
You guys
Real.
watching?
Yeah.
One step closer to seeing my favorite DC character in live action form, Kite Man.
That show's
Suicide
good.
Squad 3?
Hell yeah.
Kite Man.
Kite Man's the best.
Yo, this show was so good. You know, it had its finale.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, I know. Well, Jay and I have been doing reviews. So I watched the show months ago.
Me too.
And,
So-
and I've been screaming it from the rooftops that it's top 5 best TV show on in 2019.
Yeah,
and
it's so good.
People love it. Matt
it
Sarah
is-
swears
Yeah.
by it.
It's so good. It's
Yeah.
so
It's
good.
so well done.
It's everything you wish BOP could have been.
It's
Yeah.
anybody
Even
that
though BOP was good.
anybody that
I don't feel that way at all, but it's amazing.
I was gonna say anybody that ever liked Archer for any reason will
Oh, yeah.
love this to death. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
I like this 10 times more than Archer.
And- but
Sinister
even then,
Voices.
All right, go ahead.
I feel like a sucker for even giving this High Republic stuff a chance. Star Wars by far is my favorite property, but this sequel trilogy, yuck.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people feel that particular way.
Hey, like a sucker for giving
Haskell
it a chance?
420.
Well, hold on one
Oh, sorry,
second.
sorry.
I see you and I are on the same team now, but we got to pay a little bit of attention to that one. He feels like a sucker because he didn't like the sequel trilogy, so he doesn't like what's happening from the higher up. So he feels like, okay, they're gonna get me again. For him, now not everybody feels that way. A lot of people, you certainly don't.
You have to open your heart to love, even if you've been heartbroken in the past.
Wow, that was
Yeah.
that was wise as hell.
What
See,
is
I
happening?
told you will find love one day, Rox. That's the if you got that attitude, girl, you fine.
I already have the Bonnie made out with doll.
Made out with.
What
She
did
did way
do?
more
She
than make it.
really-
Oh, she.
You name the act that she did it to that doll. That doll is, that's why it has
This
a
is
it never
on
had,
air?
it never had a smile on his face.
What's the name of the
until
Streamlabs? Fart box.
now. Tongue, fart,
with
everything.
That.
Yeah, everything. She did everything to it. She
Haskell
didn't, she
420.
didn't need his ass. Well, yeah, go ahead.
Haskell 420. The Switchblade, the Greasers, what the fuck? A slightly better SEN version of AEW garbage with the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. Yes, those are their names.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Switchblade representing the Greasers from the faction Slap the Carp.
I'm getting that shirt made. Hitman Houston. Better film, Venom or Green Book?
Green Book.
Venom.
Green Book.
Venom.
I like them both.
That's actually kind of tough.
I agree. I agree. There's reasons to hate both movies very strongly.
I love them both.
Yeah, me too.
Hate Green Book.
Love them both?
Not the first
Yeah.
part. I think
I'd probably take Venom.
I understand.
really like
I
them
understand
both.
the reasons for not liking Green Book,
Me too.
but it's a well-made movie. It's a well-made movie, and when you for if you want to approach from the way that it was approached I understand that.
I don't
I understand
disagree
the point
with
of
you.
view
I
for
don't
sure.
Yeah, for me,
but it's a well-made movie and it's well acted. And there's a lot of
Certainly
crazy,
well acted.
Yeah, so
It's not my. If people that are part of the black community don't like it, then
I
I'm not
understand.
somebody to say anything other than that.
right. But I'm talking. If you're
just
looking at what's a
talking about the
better,
actual
you look at what's a
movie,
better movie, a better made movie is Green Book.
I mean, in the same way that I objectively said that Little Women was a great movie, I did not personally like it.
Right.
So I can respect that.
Yeah. All right. So
Well, a little different. 'cause that
Hitman
didn't have
Houston
as
is back again.
controversial.
yeah, go ahead.
Better film: Return of the Jedi or Overlord?
Oh, man.
Overlord.
Overlord is awesome.
I didn't see
Overlord's
it.
awesome.
Return of the Jedi, I'll still take, even though I know. But Return,
Fucking Ewoks.
but I can't discredit the
I like
entire
Return of the Jedi.
entire thing. Oh, look at this guy.
Oh, it's my
You're-
manager.
You're definitely early. You're early, but I can't
I've
wait.
never seen you without glasses.
I
That's
can't-
good. You can go get my food for me when it gets delivered.
Oh.
Hey.
Do you want to see? Hey, have you seen my impression of you?
I love it. It's fantastic.
You love it. So, look here's the thing.
What's up, motherfuckers?
That's my manager.
That beard is definitely making you look one step to homeless.
Dance today.
Yeah, look at you. You're gonna dance. You ready?
Stretched out.
I mean, this is the grinding beard.
Yeah. Okay. Get out of here. All right.
Louis
go ahead.
Sutcliffe.
Yes. Thank you.
Kristian, have you ever spoke to Star Wars Theory about competing in Star Wars Schmoedown?
In a Star Wars Schmoedown, I haven't. You know, and I probably should because I do like him a lot.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's a good
Who
dude.
who is he?
So his channel is Star Wars Theory. Yeah. So he's done that great Vader fan film and everything too. And he and I got to chat at Star Wars Celebration. I like him a lot. I really do. I think he's a good dude. And I don't know if he's ever expressed interest in doing a Star Wars Schmoedown, but if he does, I just got to hit him up. And the funny thing is, we've had so many conversations. Not once has it ever come up. So I would love to. I think it would be. I think him versus if he was good. Him versus Damon would be a blockbuster event that I would love to maybe even do at Star
Stop
Wars
walking by
Celebration.
the fucking farting thing.
Yeah. I can't wait for this
Tom,
episode. All right,
you-
let's go.
you do whatever you wanna do.
We got 3
I got
minutes
like
left. Go
4
ahead.
more, then we got to head out.
Go ahead.
Samuel Macias. What do you think is the best match we've ever seen? Rock, HBK, Sting, Taker, Austin Goldberg, and what would you rather see?
Best match we ever saw. There's no doubt in my mind. My two favorite matches of all time were Ricky Steamboat versus Randy Savage at WrestleMania 3.
Agreed.
And Ric Flair versus Ricky Steamboat at Wrestle War 89.
Ooh, good choice.
I gotta go, and maybe it's just because I'm young. Undertaker, Mankind, that cage match, man.
It's a good one, but that was more about the spectacle.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah,
in the shit that happened, but actual
yeah,
wrestling, like real wrestling,
Sure.
and a lot of things. That Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, the Iron Man match.
Yeah, that's one. Underrated match is Undertaker versus Triple H with Shawn Michaels as the referee
Yeah.
at WrestleMania in the steel cage.
Yeah.
That was an incredible match. People don't talk about it enough.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Brandon Haskell.
No, I
420
agree with you.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Haskell 420. Wow, LOL. The head guy of the IOC committee has 3 months to decide if the Tokyo Olympics will go down because
Hello,
Corona
guys, love your
is named-
stuff. Just a suggestion. If Ben is going to read the question, maybe get some moderators for the chat. There are a lot of bots spamming while his attention is focused on the questions. You guys rock.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, we have to probably get a moderator
do
to
that.
No, I don't want you to do that. No, thank you. Go ahead. Next.
The IOC committee moderator is named Deke Pound. No BS.
Hey-oh.
Okay.
Brandon
Hey,
Ninja.
Finstock
Anybody
is
hold
my
on.
ass
Another
worst manager ever.
Hotel Nerd says, "Hey Finstock, kiss my ass. You're the worst manager
Wow.
I wrote that under the table.
ever." You're gonna be under fire at 12:30, right?
From who?
Okay. All right, go ahead.
That's my man.
Brandon Ninja. Anybody with paranormal experiences? I have some.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
You do?
Sure. I don't want to talk about it. But
Getting scared, by your own reflection doesn't count.
Hey-oh.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
Haskell 420. Ellis has a comedy show in Atlantic City. Possible date is June 11th. Having the MTS and AC. Lots of hotels and activities for all Schmoedown cons too.
I would die of happiness if we went to AC. That would be so fucking fun.
Atlantic City.
Are
that'd
you
be great.
kidding me?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Are you? It's the East Coast Vegas. That's like
I know. I know.
I've never gone. My whole life, everybody always AC.
My buddy used to call me up and ask
It's
me
a
to go.
dump. It's a dump. Yeah, Tom knows.
You're right though. It is. It is a dump.
I love dumps.
Yeah. Okay.
I do.
I'm going to use that sound clip.
Probably because I'm jealous because I can't take
Take 'em,
them.
yeah.
So I just love them.
All right, let's guys. We almost got
Last one.
Last two.
We got.
Yeah.
All right,
Breed X.
Dat Baby Roxy, Winston Swagged Out, Blurred Bro, RB3, the Braided Up Pimp, Outlaw, and Darth Harloff. Much love from Florida.
Thank you, Breed
772.
X. That's
Thank
Breedex,
you.
yes.
Thank you.
Appreciate
And
it.
last one is from Frankie A. I'll do this one.
Okay.
Roca, thank you for your service, my man, in the Granada War. Even though it was like 4 days. Are you guys excited for the High Republic stuff? Yes, we talked about it a lot up top. So, yeah, for sure. And then I do want to go back over the Streamlabs real quick because there's a couple more over there.
I got one from Silly Buffoon.
Silly Buffoon? No, there's one. Isn't it Garth McMurray? Did we have that? Yeah, Garth McMurray has one. Roca, don't let these young ones get to you.
Yeah.
They don't understand how old folks like us worked hard hunting down woolly mammoths for a decent meal. They don't understand our struggle. Also, who is the villain in Aquaman? Don't say Black Lana. All right, CVM Master and Hotel Nerd and Schmobot, and finally we close out with Silly Buffoon. Kristian, have you watched Last Airbender cartoon with Vivian yet? No, I have not. It's a really great show, and it takes a lot of elements, no pun intended, from Star Wars. I used to watch it with my dad and loved every minute of it. I would like to watch it because not only do I hear it's a great show, it's also because Filoni had a lot to do with it. So.
That's like Ace's favorite show, I
sure.
think.
RB3, hit the music. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so very much for joining us today. Don't forget to get that live stream. You have a couple of days before the biggest Schmoedown match in recent history. Dangerous Dan Murrell faces the champion, Ben Bateman, for the undisputed Movie Trivia Schmoedown Championship of the World. On the undercard, we got Alex Damon, first intergroup match against rising IG star Emily the Rose Jacobson. Streamlabs, the Schmoedownlive.com. Get your streaming ticket today. Thank you to RB3, Ben Goddard for bringing the house down today with the readings of it's very helpful. I'm glad we did it. Winston Marshal, the Outlaw John Roca, Roxy Striar will be back in 28 minutes on this network. If you've never watched a backstage, you'd be silly to miss today. You're going to have Roxy Striar, John Roca, and the Finstock. That's right, Tom Dagnino, and they're going to be talking about everything. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye.
Oh my God, that may have been my favorite.
The Black Mana, Black Mana.
Good. Yeah. Much better.
I'm sitting in a room full of fucking idiots.